views expressed on the previous
Sounds like your night is already spoken for, George.
Oh, yeah. Reflect those
full night of hoops and
advertisers for agencies.
Crap and
the biggest names, the best talent. You're listening to Sports Radio 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
What'd you say?
I'm not going to regret what I said.
Why do you do this to me?
What?
Punish me with this.
With W?
Yeah.
Oh, happy and satisfied.
Isn't it over
so
yet?
Happy. He's gone.
Isn't it over? I saw him fly off in a helicopter. And here you are.
Oh, a happy day.
Now we got to have a retrospective and kiss his butt?
Just play the open and shut up.
Oh.
560 WQAM presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, dial 567-0560 in Dade and Broward. In other counties, call toll-free 877-785-NEIL. Or
Serious stock, 11 cents. Anybody want it?
No.
Come on. No. Buying opportunity.
No.
11 cents.
His guests or his colleagues
I'm Sileo.
do not represent those of WQAM management, staff, or sponsors.
No.
Now, The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM.
Neil God.
Fellow citizens, for 8 years it has been my honor to serve as your president.
What's life going to be like? What are you going to do now?
I am confident I'll be driven to do something. I just can't tell you what it is yet.
This January, help is on the way.
Reports are they're inside the bank.
The only man for the job,
George W. Bush.
Mall Cop.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
He's always been dedicated.
Fool me once, shame on you. It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
Yeah.
To protecting.
Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women.
The last thing they expected.
I hear there's rumors on the internets.
Who is this guy?
I'm George W. Bush.
Mall Cop.
And I think the world would be better off if we did leave. If we left, the world would be worse. The world is better off with us not leaving.
You're an idiot.
I'm George W. Bush.
Mall Cop.
Imports come from overseas.
Showing now in a theater near you. Bye, W. It's minus 11 Celsius right now. What is that? About 15 degrees?
Let me look.
And the people of Florida, well, it's so cold. It's in the 30s and 40s. We'd only here give our left nut for 30s and 40s.
It's 10 or 11.
10 or 11 above 0 Fahrenheit.
Correct.
Although it's going to be Friday, +1, 34 degrees, +1. Oh! First time in positive territory in eons, in a long time. I'm not complaining. I'm just stating a fact. Because every time it gets chilly in South Florida, geez, doing this so bad. Although I do understand one thing. If you're going to have to put up with being there, at least you should get sunshine and warm weather.
Oh, it's really sunny and very nice. You get to wear your leather jacket today.
Oh, it's murky today.
Oh.
Here, it's murky. I mean, the sun is up there somewhere. I see a little tiny patch of blue, but nevertheless. The last 8 years blue, I'll tell you that. Oh, did they ever. You'd be amazed. No, I guess you wouldn't, but maybe some people in the audience would be amazed at a lot of the negatory emails I got, which I just Schmidt-canned them because I don't want to, be,
Good.
I don't want to wallow in misery. And even my friend the professor sent me some of the most depressing crap this morning I've ever read in my life. And this is one of the big original Obama boosters and all of that, and I don't know. I mean, sure, he's not like a magician, and he's not going to wave a magic wand and make the economy all better. All this crap about the Obama bubble, the Obama bump or whatever the hell they were calling we were going to see yesterday in the market, based on what? He got elected back in November, for crying out loud, so it's no surprise he was going to get inaugurated.
It didn't sneak up on you at all, did it?
No. But the market goes down 300 and some points. Oh, where's the Obama bounce we were supposed to be? That again, is dumb people buying into the crap they peddle you on the gambling channel, including Maria B. and all the other hucksters on there. That's all they are, is a bunch of hucksters peddling crap. Oh, let's put some lipstick on this pig. How those people aren't all in federal prison, I have no idea. What they did to people and their incomes, people work a whole lifetime. And then all of a sudden they wake up one day and, I've been fed a bunch of crap, Bernie made off with all my money. Or the Enron people made off with all my money. Or some hucksters on the gambling channel on CNBC sold me a bill of goods about the new economy as opposed to the old economy. All this other, a bunch of lies. They're just peddling, don't you understand? Because if you people stop buying, then they're out of business. That's all they got to sell is lies and bullcrap. Oh, it's a buying opportunity, yeah. Bunch of fakers is all they are. They're a bunch of carny barkers. You ever read about the old carny barkers?
Yeah. Hooray, hooray, hooray.
Yeah,
Step
that's
right
right.
up and take a look at the two-headed sideshow for only 25 cents. That kind of thing.
Oh, I don't want Sirius's website.
Serious?
I'm serious. I want to see here we go, the stock report. It was 11 cents yesterday. I didn't check it yet this morning. So I'm checking it now. If it goes down to a dime, all bets are off. Oh, it's still 11 cents. It's hanging in there nice, although it's down fractionally. In other words, it's like 10.98 or something like that. Oh, there's Swillery and Bubba at the morning prayer.
Well, President Clinton and now Hillary Clinton
And
nominated,
your
of course, for
president,
Secretary
and
of
Vice
State.
President.
We continue to look at those pictures. So sorry, Brianna. I
And
certainly
Jill.
didn't mean to cut you off.
And
because
Michelle.
There is so much going on today.
What did you think of his dancing last night? Did you see any of that at the inaugural balls?
Yeah, and?
I don't know. It left me kind of like limp. I just don't think... Well, you know, we didn't elect him because he's a great dancer. I just thought that their dancing was...
What? I guess they're not going to be on Dancing with the Stars.
No, I wouldn't think so. Although maybe they were auditioning. I don't know.
Maybe.
Isn't that what we're supposed to be, the new American hobby, while everybody's starving to death and nobody's got a job? And like I said, you know, he's not going to like magically, although here's the information about the beginning. In his first act as president, Obama approved a memo by White House Chief of Staff Rahm I'm Very Jewish Emanuel, which orders all federal agencies to freeze former President Bush's pending regulations until the new administration has a chance to review them. On his new website, whitehouse.gov, the president also issued a proclamation that January 20th, 2009 is to be a national day of renewal and reconciliation. Of course, today's the 21st, so that's all over with. President Obama called upon all Americans to serve one another as a way of helping remake this nation. Here I am serving you, folks. The price is right. Doesn't cost you a dime. And we're giving you free entertainment, such as it is 4 hours a day. That thing you told me about Joe Bell makes me want to do a real big Joyce right on the chair here. Oh, we're going to renew our effort. You're full of crap, Joe. You're full of crap. You and your Yahoo sales manager from Raleigh, okay? You're full of crap. Why would I waste my time with that nonsense, what you're talking?
I don't know.
Well, that's what you should tell him. You should just spit in his face, say he's not going to waste his time talking to you. What?
Nothing.
Well, what did you let out, that breath of...
That groan?
Right.
Why don't you play along? And then if nothing happens, then you can say, hey, look, I played it along.
How many times can you play along with the same BS? How many times? Fool me once, can't get fooled again, like W just said.
Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe they're serious this time.
No, cereal, yeah, 11 cents. I'll sell you some cereal. You want some cereal? Frosted Flakes, I love them. I could eat them out of the box.
I want some Golden Grahams.
You know, that's funny, though. All the bad stuff that I eat with my diabetes and everything, and my blood sugar is really very bad.
Mm-hmm.
I never go, of course, I do go to the supermarket once in a while, but it never dawns on me, thank goodness. It never dawns on me to buy, like, cereal, because I can eat it right out of the box.
Right.
I'm not going to buy milk, because I don't like milk.
I know.
I don't think that another animal's milk is designed to be drinking by us.
You eat cheese.
What?
You eat cheese.
Yeah, I do eat cheese, and you want to know why? Because I like the way it tastes.
All right.
I don't like the way milk tastes at all. It tastes like milk. You know, it's crap.
Those are two different things. You don't like the way it tastes, fine, but you're eating another animal's milk.
So?
Okay.
But I'm eating it in the form that I like. At least it tastes good. I like cheese, although it gums up your innards.
And ice cream.
Although I don't have any problem. Oh, yeah, of course ice cream is another milk product of dairy. What about chocolate? What about cacao?
What
about kakamoon? True to his word, President Barack Obama has taken the first step to closing the infamous prison at Guantanamo Bay, asking military prosecutors to suspend legal proceedings for 120 days. A military judge agreed to suspend one case immediately this morning, and the fate of other cases is expected to be determined pronto, fast. A military judge has agreed to Obama's request to suspend the Gitmo war crimes trial of Canadian Omar Khadr, who was 15 years old when he was arrested, and the people here are really pissed off and porked up about it. Porked off and pissed up. Well, I don't know how that goes. They're not happy. So he's suspending the war crimes trial. You got it?
Got it.
He's not wasting any time. He's getting right to it. Going to close up Gitmo. He's going to put a bunch of...
think he's going to blah, blah, blah?
Going to put a bunch of fagulas in the military so they can bunk down together? What's wrong with that?
Nothing?
Now, here's one. Here's my emails. I got a whole bunch of them, as you would expect. But a lot of negatory ones, which I just Schmidt-canned. I deleted them. I'm so tired of the... You know, I mean, I'm supposed to be Mr. Negative, but I'm like positively ebullient. Remember the ebullient guy, that jackass?
How can we forget?
I'm ebullient compared to most of these losers out there. Oh, geez, he's not going to be able to do this. And well, you know what? So the world is corrupt and the government is corrupt and it's run by a band of thieves and gypsies. And what are we going to do? He's not going to we'll see what he can do. At least he gives you a little bit of hope. What more the hell can you hope for than hope? Right?
Right. I hope.
So I may vent is the name of the person, the handle of the person who sent me this email.
Yeah.
So I may vent.
Fake email for the occasion.
That's correct. Aren't they all?
Yes.
Don't know if you're in today or if it's George, but I'll be listening, at least to the opening segment. Now, what does that mean? I don't know if you're going to be in today. Well, what's today? The day after Inauguration Day? Is it a holiday?
I guess. You take so many days off.
Please don't get me wrong by my YouTube account or my previous emails. I'm a fan. I admit I don't listen constantly, but I do love the smart assisms and the way you drive a show, and George, too. I'm driving it. There's no way I can be sincere in a letter and expect you two to be gushy on the air, and I dare say I expect no return from this email. Well, I'm reading it. But anyways, I do listen, and I do hear, and I do enjoy. I'm curious. This is the part that gets me.
Okay.
How many years I've been reading the ratings on the air on this show? 100 years. We don't make them up. We don't lie about them. We don't pretend to be number when we're not. We give you exactly what the numbers are, and believe me, the last 2 years under Jolly Joe Bell, they have sucked big time. They blow. Not as bad as some other people on the air, like the idiots across the street most of the day, but nevertheless. I'm curious on the true stats and the true ratings for the show. Every GD station in town says they're number one. God, I hate bullshmitting the fans. Well, we don't bullshmit anybody about ratings on this show.
We're number 4.
That's right. We're number 4, and we're proud of it. We had a 4.6 share in Men 25-54, which is not all that bad, considering.
Relatively
not all that
speaking,
great, considering we used to do double that, but, considering the idiots that we work for and considering some of the stuff they put on around us, oh, my God. I don't want to mention
rock solid
that with that 1.1. I don't want to mention that 9 to 10 hour at night with a point. Now, would I make that up? Who would make that up?
Right.
If I wanted to, I couldn't make that up. The idea that this radio station, this once great, prominent AM station, could have a point before midnight, before anybody was like even in bed, 9 o'clock at night. And once upon a time, I'm old enough to remember it, and I was a part of it. Once upon a time at night on W Snooze and WINZ, nighttime 8 to midnight was primo listening time. Yeah, so the demos were old, but we had gigantic numbers, 10 and 11 shares, which doesn't sound like a point to me, but nevertheless. Knowing this joint, they wouldn't be able to sell it anyway. If they had a 20 share, well, nobody's listening at night, and you wouldn't want to buy any spots, would you? Oh, speaking of taco smell, I'll get to this story. Man accused of molesting boy at Plant City Taco Smell.
Okay.
One of these days, before January ends, I vow to have a meal at Taco Smell. I love it. And I missed out yesterday. Did you go? You said you were going to go. I bet you didn't.
No.
It was 20 tacos for what was it?
Like, I don't know, 10-cent tacos, 20 cents, I don't know what it was. But I missed it. I missed out.
That one guy, he just shoved him down his gut. I bet he had a plunger and was just shoving him down there.
Only in the Banana Republic, baby. Only in Miami.
Water rushed in and went right up to my knees. Thought I was in the sky above.
You fairy.
Now I'm in a submarine. Water's cold, freezing my toes. A bag of blue diamond nuts is floating by my nose. Underneath the Hudson I could see a rotting corpse with both his feet in a bucket of concrete.
Rock solid.
Lucky for me, I can take a stroll along the wing, thanks to a flock of stupid geese that made the water rush in.
Fools Rush In. I remember Rick Nelson had a recording of that, among many others.
Yep.
Remember that? Fools Rush In? Oh, well. No, you got it?
I got it all, man. And if I don't got it, I'll get it.
You'll make it up. You'll sing it. Guess who I have an email from here?
Rimmer.
No, worse than that. Somebody who claims she's going to be starting on this station in February.
Oh, the phony Anita Marks?
This isn't the phony Anita Marks. This is the real Anita Marks, the spot. Rick Nelson. He's still dead, by the way.
That's Ricky Nelson to you.
No, it's Rick Nelson by this time. Was it Ricky on this recording?
Yes.
No.
Only guess the year?
Oh, I have no idea. 1962.
Close.
63?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Good guess.
I'll take it.
Hi, Neil. Well, my guys couldn't quite pull it off in Pittsburgh. They stunk. Looks like it's time to trade in my purple and black for aqua and orange. I'll be wrapping up my duties for 1300 a.m. in Baltimore during Super Bowl week on January 30th. Unlike most in our business, I'll get a chance to say goodbye to all my faithful listeners as I turn the page on this chapter of my career. It's time to look forward to my new home on WQAM when I start in February. I sure won't miss the winter, and both Mr. Bell and Mr. Darrow, oh my God, what a putz, have assured me that the station is going to run a tremendous promotional campaign to support my move to Miami. I just can't thank them enough for the opportunity to join the premier sports talk station in America. Boy, you talk about living in the past. Certainly hope there's enough room for two queens on WQAM. So I guess they're going to stick Orlando on at night. They're going to blow out DA and put her in 2 to 4. Another failure. Now that I'm able to narrow down my starting date, I'm able to focus on my support team. Can you pass along my email address to that cutie pie, Chris Whalen? I didn't know that Anita was vision challenged. I need a right-hand man I can trust, and I'm sure he can produce for me, if you know what I mean, wink. I really need to get a hold of him so we can get together. Anyway, time to get going and start packing boxes. Thanks for being so supportive, Anita Marks. Oh, my God. She's really coming, by the way.
All right. Great.
And I think what I just gave you, it's just a guess, but I think that, you know, based on a little bit of information we had from Barry Jackass, real or imaginary, the other day, about how they're moving Big O to nights and they're blowing out DA. Well, DA's got a point. You know, he's got some really astonishing numbers there at night.
And then what will they be doing from 2 to 4? Anita Marks?
Anita Marks.
Want to hear my psychic prediction?
Go ahead.
It's going to suck and it's going to fail.
Well, that's because Joe likes it. Joe and Clarence like it, so it's going to suck and it's going to fail. Everything they put on from 2 to 4 has been just a... And in fact, everything Jolly Joe has put on has been a disaster. Everything he's put on the air has been a mitigated disaster. Jerks, Kenny and Blow and that horrible morning show, DA at night with a point at 9 o'clock, and not much else around it. I mean, you can only blame lead-ins and follow-ups and, you know, so long. And when you can't even break a share, you're not attracting much of an audience. Even when you can't hear the signal 4 blocks away.
Well, it's a good thing they don't care about ratings.
That's right. I forgot about that. They don't care about ratings. They care about football.
The smell.
The smell of jockstraps. That's what permeates the building. If you walked in there, man, the sweaty, smelly uniforms and jockstraps, they're hung up all... Yeah. I thought it was illegal to hang laundry out on the line, but they have it all over the building.
No, they hang it on their faces.
No, yeah, on their puss. Here's the poll from yesterday, 952 votes. If I hit the Powerball, the first thing I would do besides quit my job is, and by the way, you won't hit the Powerball, but anyway, if you did, travel around the world 230. That was my vote. A lot of traveling. I'm a traveling man. There's Rick Nelson again, see? On Imperial Records.
We could have all Rick Nelson all day.
What?
We could have all Rick Nelson all day.
Okay, go ahead. Invest it wisely, 166. Make a list of all the friends and family I want to give money to, 159. I'm already doing that. Leave South Florida, 135. Already done that. Oh, thank God. Get a divorce and bang only young chicks, 101. Buy a big bag of the good stuff, 75. Traveling Man. This was the first music video in history.
I'm a traveling man.
Did you know that? I've told you that before.
Yes.
The genius of Ozzie Nelson.
All over the world.
I'll tell you one thing. He had to be a genius because anybody that could take a family as boring as the Nelsons and make a lot of money off that show. I mean, God, were they boring. Oh. Boring. Ozzie and Harriet?
Never saw it.
Boring. And even the next door neighbor, Thorny, he was boring. I wonder if Thorny was horny. Run Jimmy Syphilis out. Wait a minute. I skipped over. Send George a big check to quit the show, 28. He wouldn't quit this show. You send him $10 million, he'd still be here tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah. Try it. Send him a bunch of money and see if he shows up tomorrow.
Put it to the test.
Run Jimmy Syphilitic out of town, 18. Boy, his numbers sure were pretty weak. Mediocre. Check into an expensive rehab, 16. Go to the track and plunge my guts out, 12. And become immersed in my favorite charities, only 12. My whole life is a charity. Maybe I need to stop doing that. Maybe I should just take off after the show today and never be seen again. I could do that, you know.
Well, you don't have to resort to that.
Well, what's the alternative?
Just stop cutting checks.
Cutting checks for whom?
Everybody.
Greenfield, California. Police have arrested a Greenfield man for allegedly arranging to sell his 14-year-old daughter into marriage in exchange for $16,000, 100 cases of beer, and several cases of meat. Police said they only learned of the deal after the 36-year-old man went to them to get his daughter back because payment wasn't made as promised. The man was arrested Sunday on suspicion of human trafficking. He went to the police. What a moron. Officers also arrested an 18-year-old man on suspicion of statutory rape. The girl's 14 years old. Now, this is like in India, right, with the dowry and all that crap?
I guess, yeah.
Investigators believe the girl went willingly with the man, but she's under California's legal age of consent and can't legally marry. Police say arranged marriages involving underage girls have become a problem in this small Central Coast farming community, Greenfield, California. So there you go, George. Somebody's going to send you all that money and you can go marry some young chick, some hot young thing.
No, thanks. I'm not looking for extra wives.
For what?
Extra wives?
Well, I don't mean marry, but I mean, you know.
No.
In a general sense.
No, thank you. Not for me.
In a familial sense.
That's not my bag, baby.
Oh, getting back to that Plant City taco smell, a 22-year-old man was arrested yesterday afternoon accused of molesting a 4-year-old boy in the restroom of a Plant City Taco Bell, according to a criminal arrest affidavit.
Wow.
Brian Wetzel Lowry of Plant City was charged with lewd and lascivious exhibition with a child, lewd and lascivious molestation of a child, and false imprisonment. Lowry is accused of following the boy into the men's restroom of the Taco Smell at 2442 James L. Redmond Parkway. Plant City police say Lowry pulled the boy into a handicap stall and molested him. 4-year-old boy. According to the affidavit, the boy's grandfather walked into the restroom, witnessed the incident, and called the police. Sick. Really, really, really sick. I wonder if Brian is jonesing to become a priest, do you think?
I was just going to say.
Yeah. Then he can legally alter boys. How's the poll for today coming? I haven't looked at that. All that poll talk. There you go with the numbers again. He's mailing it in. Poll. Yeah, screw you. Screw you.
I can't do it like you do.
Oh, like that one. You're my bitch or whatever that idiot said.
That's it.
Which most closely fits your bathroom hygiene? This is Charlie B., who's a real sicko. 464 votes so far. Drop a Joyce, wash hands always, 277. Of course. Drop a Joyce, wash hands sometime, 127. Wash hands, drop a Joyce, wash hands again, 33. Why do you have to wash your hands before you drop a Joyce?
You never know.
Drop a Joyce, never wash hands, 22 real slobs. Can you imagine what they smell like?
No, thank you.
Wash hands, drop a Joyce, and don't wash hands, 5. You see, out of 464 vote.
Howard David's a bitch.
Absolutely.
You step outside and all you hear is coughing and sneezes. Your nose can't even run because when it starts it just freezes. There's burning on your face like you've been sprayed with mace. You take off all your layers inside but the cold lingers. You feel an icy tingle in your toes and your fingers. You just want to cry. You're a frozen pot pie, 'cause it is so damn cold. You can't unfold your hands. I'm told it turns off your sweat glands. The sun's not strong enough to warm your stuff. That's how it goes. Winter blows. Your coat is so gigantic you cannot feel a tickle. You're walking down the street just like a human icicle. Your freaking snuggle hood is not working like it should. 'Cause it is so damn cold you can't unfold your hands. I'm told it turns off your sweat glands. The sun's not strong enough to warm your stuff. That's how it goes. Winter blows.
Yes.
You
You know what I just noticed? I thought it was me. I thought maybe my hearing was going. One of the channels is missing from that bit.
Really?
It's like in mono.
Okay.
But, well, I don't mean it's like in mono. They're all in mono. But like,
right.
You know what I mean? Because one of the VUs is like just barely, who knows? It's Todd Pettengill, so what do you expect?
Sure, nothing. The
fake Alice Rantel, who's absolutely the worst of all the fakers, you know who it is? I'm sure it's Mr. Radio.
Okay.
Always asking me a bunch of stupid inside radio crap. Like, here's one of them from today, which I won't read the other ones. Hi, Neil. I heard you mention Alan Burke yesterday. Were you friendly with him off the air? Al. No, I was not friendly with him off the air. I met him once in my life, I do believe, and that's when they were interviewing me to replace him at INZ. It's kind of awkward. Or was I friendly with him off the air? Oh, God. This is the motto of South Florida.
I have no life.
Oh, my goodness.
I have no life. I have no life. I have no life. I have no life. I have no life.
I'm just playing that for 4 hours every day.
I have no life.
All right. I'm telling you.
I have no
life. That's the new format. I'm smelling you right now.
I have no life.
The only people I was friendly with off there that I ever worked with in radio was Bill Calder and Stan Major. Bill Calder deceased, and Stan Major might as well be, as far as the business is concerned. Remember we heard from Stan a couple weeks ago when we got Stan Major Intensive, and the fake Johnny Dork, and this fake one, and that fake one. Oh, you got to have Stan on the air. Yeah. You know that most of this crap's coming from across the street. Anything they can do to cause a tune-out. Anything they can do to try to sabotage the show. Oh, we're going to plant the seeds of doubt in the old man's mind. We're going to make him think he's really lost it. Yeah, screw you. Screw you wannabes. Why? And, of course, the only reason that these people here care about them across the street is because it's sports. Because they're talking the same turd burger garbage that you hear on this station. Orlando at the Senior Bowl 2 to 4 this afternoon. That should get a big number. Starting with a... Hurricane, let's see, Mad Dog 4 to 7. Hurricanes warm-up 7 to 7:30. Canes and FSU basketball 7:30. That should get a gigantic listen audience. And then after the game, the DA show with its point share. I'll tell you, Jolly Joe, you may not be good, but you sure are consistent. And George, little George, he had his thumb in it.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Like you said, if Jolly Joe and Clarence like it, it's going to suck and it's going to fail. Like this Anita Marks show 2 to 4 that's coming next month. Or whenever the hell she's going to be on. Maybe she'll be on 10 to 2. Just keep the checks coming, Joe. She can have it. Millions of cubicle dwellers across the country helped set records for Internet traffic yesterday as they watched online video of the inauguration ceremonies, or at least tried to. The overwhelming demand meant that some websites and data networks had trouble keeping up. Between 11:30 in the morning and 12:30 in the p.m., accessing websites which carried the swearing-in and speech was difficult, if not impossible, depending on your connection. CNN.com's inauguration broadcast was a watershed event, wrote Richard Greenfield, an analyst with Pally Capital. Pally. Hey, Pally. And then it's got a bunch of links here. Newspaper covers from around the world and yada, yada, yada. People pushes print deadline in a Get Out special inaugural double issue. Well, good for Peephole magazine. Goody gumdrop for them, right?
Yep.
Here's one that's going to make you, well, it's not surprising, especially with the people that we deal with every day. Last night, while browsing MSNBC.com, they were displaying comments written by people on the main page regarding the... Oh, and let me interrupt this. I've got one here about... oh, my God. It's in my pile somewhere. About, what's her name? Rachel Maddow? And the reason that... Oh, here it is. I'll get back to this other one in a second.
No problem. I bookmarked it.
The reason why you did not hear the inauguration audience singing to Bush, "Na-na, hey, hey, goodbye," is because you weren't tuned into MSNBC during the presidential inauguration. Well, guess what? Bullcrap. If I wasn't tuned into MSNBC, then how come we had Keith Olbermann's voice on there, his dulcet tones, during most of the coverage we carried?
Aha.
Right?
Right.
We had a little bit of Wolf Blitzkrieg earlier and Anderson's Pooper, but I got really tired of that, and we turned over to MSNBC very early on. You were not tuned to MSNBC, that's a lie, be it because of your loathsomeness disposition of Rachel Maddow or whatever you pardon, but you missed what the audience said to his face, howbeit twice. And you ought to see the address, the email address to this person. I can't use the words on the air, but nevertheless. Brent, and then a few other...
Mm-hmm. Another made up for the occasion email address?
No, these are words having to do with the male genitalia.
I see.
While watching the presidential inauguration of our new President Barack Obama on MSNBC, I got to say it. Did you notice "Na-na, hey, hey, goodbye" being sung by the crowd of people to George W. Bush, not once but twice? Yes. Well, this wasn't the first time. This goes on, beep. And the second time, people sang the song when he took off in the chopper. It just goes to show you that he will not be missed unless, like Governor Palin, he refuses to go away. He will not be missed. That's a bulletin from this genius, this rocket science, just an idiot. And so anyway, speaking of Rachel Maddow, the reason I read that,
yes,
is I watched Silverman last night and their, coverage of the what happened earlier in the day, and then she comes on as usual at 9 o'clock, and I finally figured out who she is.
Okay.
First of all, she's a guy.
Okay.
Secondly, I'll give you a clue who she is. She's Geldy. She is Geldy Geldstein. Oh, she's a guy. I'm telling you, she's got a manly...
Her voice ain't that squeaky. She's got a way deeper voice than he does.
Really? Well, she's got a much bigger Adam's apple, too.
Yeah, see?
She's Geldy.
But
She's
probably
a man.
not a bigger...
She is a man. Last night, while browsing MSNBC.com, it says they were displaying comments written by people on the main page regarding the presidential inauguration when I saw something that almost made me fall over in my chair and is a perfect example of what the hell's wrong with our country. Somebody actually wrote, I understand it's a presidential inauguration, but enough with the pompous celebrations. It's a little much. It's not like the Super Bowl or anything. Didn't know what to think, just unbelievably sad, says this dismayed and appalled emailer.
That's great.
I mean, it's not the Super Bowl or anything important like that. The sports nerds of the world, the sickest, the most twisted, the most pathetic, the most dangerous. Dangerous.
Names.
The best.
Sports talk is dangerous.
Howard from Boca.
Perry. Joey's days I've done.
Absolutely.
Joey's days I've done. Bill Marshall is his son. The show just ain't no fun. So what does Gary Bruce think Joey is gonna do? He tried a small weekend gig, and now we're crying out in pain. The ratings they reflected, no way to redirect it. He better crawl away in shame. Joey's got a gun. Joey's got a gun. Neil can't help this one.
No.
Radio days are done. What is he gonna do? His radio days are through. He tried a small weekend gig, and now we're crying out in pain. The ratings they reflected, no way to redirect it. He better crawl away in shame. Run away from the pain. Run away from the pain. Yeah.
I am that hemorrhoid.
10:45 at 560 WQAM. The reason I played that is I got an email about your friend Joey.
Oh, my buddy.
Whitney says, George says, I don't know why, well, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why the names at the bottom of some of these are different from the email address,
Because,
but nevertheless.
they forget to fake both of them sometimes.
Oh. Hi, Neil. I've been listening since the old WKAT days, says George. I moved down to Isla Mirada in the Florida Keys. Pure paradise. I should have done it years ago. At night, I can only get one AM radio station. From about 1 to 5 AM, the only person on is your old buddy, Joey Reynolds. He's still tough to listen to. He has a bunch of old C-rated celebrities. Soupy Sales was on a week ago, and he sounded dead. He's still using those awful jingles that mention his name over and over again. He has some ones that are worse than the ones he used to play. The only ads are PSAs, says George.
Okay.
Sad part of it is that he's still on the air anywhere. I wonder if he's still doing that fresh new comedy.
I'm sure
that he kept threatening
extra
to do.
fresh now.
Fresh new comedy.
Mm-hmm. It
What
just
a
gets fresher.
jackass. What a jerk.
Mm-hmm. Very
Two
unfunny.
dead people.
Hmm?
Browns legend Danny Lavelli, 85, passes away. Great receiver of the great Browns in the 40s and 50s. And here's a picture of Danny standing next to his plaque outside Brown Stadium in 2002. He passed away at 85 yesterday. One of the greatest receivers the Browns ever had. A member of the original Browns in 46, Lavelli was a vital figure on Cleveland club that formed a dynasty in the first 10 years of its existence, winning 3 NFL championships in the 50s and 4 All-American Football Conference crowns in the 40s. Lavelli, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 75, teamed up with quarterback Otto Graham, receiver Max Speedy, fullback Marion Motley, and kicker Lou Groza in an attack that revolutionized football offenses. Lavelli died at Fairview Hospital after a long illness. He had been hospitalized recently with congestive heart failure and been treated for bladder and kidney infection. In other words, not good. Not good. And it goes on. My God, pages and pages and pages. Wow, this is amazing. Bob Neal, the Browns radio voice in the 40s, nicknamed Lavelli Glue Fingers after watching him make a series of outstanding catches. Bob Neal, not the one from Atlanta from Cox Broadcasting. Not that little midget. Guess who else died? Nope, you're wrong.
All right.
Well, because you never heard of this person.
Right.
So no matter who you would say, it would probably be wrong.
Probably some old person, right?
77.
A.B.
77. Huh?
A.B. Ishkabibble.
Clint Ballard Jr.
Who?
Pop songwriter, had #1 hits. And his death gives me the schmitz. Clint Ballard Jr., a pop songwriter who crafted the #1 hits, You're No Good for Linda Ronstadt in 75, and Game of Love a decade earlier. His died, he was 77. The Game of Love. Who did that? It's on a light blue label.
That doesn't.
No, that's You're No Good. That's Linda Ronstadt. I love Linda Ronstadt. There's another chick I like a lot.
Me too.
Love her. Game of Love. The Mindbenders. Is that right?
Right, that's part of it. Something, something, and the...
Something, something, and the Mindbenders?
Yeah, the guy's name.
Oh.
Come on now.
Clint Ballard Jr. in the Mindbenders. No. Did a perfect talk-up, and you smashed it. You squashed it. Wayne Fontana in the Mindbenders. See? I still got it. I'd like to get rid of it, but I still got it. Okay, that's enough. Ballard, whose health deteriorated after he had a stroke in 2006, died December 23rd at his home in Denton, Texas, as a friend, Jacqueline Martinez. Although he often worked with a partner, the Texas native wrote You're No Good Alone. The song had already been recorded by R&B. Oh, and by the way, they showed again last night Urethra singing in My Country.
Yeah, all night long, yeah.
And she,
whatever.
I don't like the way she split that word up, you know. If anybody else would have done that, they would have said it was pornographic and fined her $1 billion, but not Urethra, she's the queen. The song had already been recorded by R&B singers Dee Dee Warwick and Betty Everett when Ronstadt included in the Heart Like a Wheel album that marked her emergence as a bona fide star, You're No Good. For the British group Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders, Ballard wrote The Game of Love, and their version was featured in the 87 Robin Williams film Good Morning Vietnam. Wow. And it goes on. After discovering the harmony duo, the Kalin twins in Washington, D.C. in 57, boy, that's nothing I'd be proud of. They're on that video with Bowser, you know, on that ad, the Time Life thing. Oh, my God. They were so grotesque. I mean, so ugly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being ugly. I know about it. But, God, they were extra ugly. In 57, Ballard became the Kalin twins' manager and wrote their first single, The Cheerful Jumpin' Jack. Never heard of that. Then, 3 months later, they recorded their one-hit When, written by Ballard's friend Paul Evans and Jack Reardon. Mitch Miller and his orchestra recorded Ballard's Hey Little Baby on the B-side of March from the River Kwai. Oh, yeah, on Columbia Records, no less. Mitch Miller, I hated him. He was from Rochester with that little beard, that goofy little beard, you know. Mitch Miller, remember him? Mm-hmm. You do?
I sure do.
He used to have to play his crap on the radio back in the day when I was in... Oh, my God, Mitch Miller. And the way he used to conduct the orchestra, like, you know, with I can't do it on the radio. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, I can see you.
Like that.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
See, it's amazing, and I'm not even doing anything. In 60, Jimmy Jones reached number 3 on the Billboard charts with a playful song that Ballard co-wrote called Good Timin'. That included the lyrics, who in the world would have ever known what Columbus could do if Queen Isabella hadn't hocked her jewels in 1492, but she had timin', da-da-da-da-da-da-da, timin', however that goes, you know.
That's a good song.
Writing for the close harmonies of the Hollies, Ballard came up with I'm Alive for the British pop group and became a #1 single overseas. He also wrote the nonsensical Gingerbread for Frankie Avalon. With others, he wrote Rick Nelson's There's Not a Minute and the Zombies' Gotta Get a Hold of Myself. Gingerbread by Frankie Avalon. There's Timin'.
That's good time.
That's Jimmy Jones.
Here it comes.
That's Geldy, I'm telling you. Yeldy and Rachel Maddow, same person. I discovered it myself last night watching on, and as soon as she came on, after about 2 minutes, I turned over to something else. In the late 70s, Ballard moved to Dallas, later settled in Denton, where he became a real estate investor, had no immediate survivors, and now he's dead at 77. Clint Ballard, Jr. I wonder if he's related to Clint Hodgins or Clint Galbraith. You think?
Maybe.
Now, here's a bizarre, really bizarre. This came at 10:22 last night. Neil, usually listened at 5:60 a.m. in the afternoon. I could not tell. Was that you that said Michelle Obama looked beautiful and Laura Bush like trailer trash? Yes. Also, was that you that said somebody should push Dick Cheney's wheelchair down the stairs? Yes. Just curious, signed David Scott. Just curious.
Maybe he's
yes.
monitoring.
What?
Maybe he's monitoring.
David is monitoring? Well, too bad. Yes, I proudly confess to both. And I second my emotions, okay? Rich in Orlando, proud atheist, said the high point of my inaugural night was an interview with former heavyweight champion Evander Holy Holyfield. The champ, looking darker than Larry Hagman's liver, was asked about Obama's key to success. He responded, prayer. That's great. Here's a guy who made $20 million a fight and is still boxing at 46 because he has to pay child support for his gazillion out-of-wedlock kids. I guess he prayed for sex and his prayers were answered. If I were Holy Holyfield, I would have been praying for periods. Of course, God, Jesus, gets credit for all the good and bears no responsibility for the bad, says Rich in Orlando, proud atheist. You go, Rich, you heathen bastard. Oh, speaking of a good old-time religion, too much religion. If I had one criticism of yesterday's festivities, too much God crap.
Yeah.
Had to schlep out that faker Rick Warren there for the invocation, and then we had a bunch of religious poems and all this other crap.
Freaking poems, man.
And how many times during the speech did Obama mention God?
About 30, man.
Oh, no, not 30, 30,000.
About 30, man.
30,000 times. God, this. Oh, and look where they are now.
Financial Times.
National Prayer Service.
Do we choose?
I'm not on
the fast that placates our hunkered down soul, or the fast that reaches out to our brother
Bunch of Getchkis.
and our sister? In times
look at those
such
old
as
guys
these,
with the red beanie and the red dress.
The leaders of this nation, all of you. We need you to be guided by the counsel that Isaiah gave so long ago to work for the common good, for the public happiness, the well-being of the nation and the world, knowing that our individual well-being...
You think there are people dying in the world now who shouldn't be dying at all while they're wasting their time with this crap?
Yes.
Maybe that should be, if we ever get a president who really has it, he would say, the first thing we're going to do is get rid of all this religious crap with government. If you want to practice your own heebie-jeebie, go ahead. Although I give him credit for at least acknowledging that people with no religion, have got a right to be alive in this country, as opposed to George Herbert Walker Bush, who said that atheists have no right to be Americans. And isn't it something when crooks like the whole Bush family start giving people lectures about religion and being good and all this other crap? Oh, Alice Rantel is just out of control. I'm not Mr. Radio or the guy with the eyes, or I'm your friend, or this is Eddie. This is the real Alice. Oh, God. It would be a good idea to bring Stan Major in, but what do I know? Alice. Yeah, it's the real Alice Rantel. Oh, and he's such a radio expert that he sent me the email 3 times. The real Alice Rantel. You should live so long. Oh, here's one. It's the Daily Neil Rogers Misogynist Show. We hate Rachel, Joyce, Anita. If they don't have a schlong, we hate them. Yeah, like, what's her name?
Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama, and what's her name? You're no good.
Linda Ronstadt.
Linda Ronstadt. That's right. I hate women. Just make up whatever crap you want to and just believe it, okay? And run to the window and yell it out loud. Neil Rogers hates all women. Bubba, yeah. Go ahead. By the way, here's another one. Bubba had someone on his show who knew Olbermann personally, who said anyone who ever came into contact with Olbermann despises him, much like you. No surprise you like him. No, I don't like him. I like his show. I don't know him, so how can I like him? Here's one from the fake Joey Reynolds. You used to be such a nice boy, but now you're so terrible. We all get old, Neil. You're not a spring chicken. My comedy's been fresh for 40 years. Yeah, you should live so long, Joey. God, what an old turd.
This is the Neil Rogers Show.
You fairy.
This is your brain.
Rock solid.
Any questions?
This is Eyewitness News. 8 days before leaving office, President Bush gave a final news conference.
How come they didn't connect the dots? To connect the dots, and all of a sudden people were saying, how come you're connecting the dots?
President Bush, could I ask you a question?
John, my response is...
what are you talking about?
Second part of your two-part question?
Huh?
That was 3 questions.
No, that was only 1 question.
When you ask 4 or 5 questions, it's hard for me to remember every question.
What kind of drugs are you on?
That's an interesting question. Do I have to answer?
Now, you notice how one channel is like dropping out, and that maybe it's just a disc.
Maybe.
Or maybe not.
It could be like a wire fell out, in the back of the board somewhere.
A wire fell out in the back of the board?
Or something. Who knows? Start jiggling stuff.
Oh, yeah. Let me try playing that again.
This is Eyewitness News. 8 days before leaving office, President Bush gave a final news conference.
How come they didn't connect the dots? To connect the dots, and all of a sudden people were saying, how come you're connecting the dots?
I'll call an engineer.
President Bush...
Oh, what a lunatic. Well, at least it's not in the board because, well, maybe it's in that pot.
Right?
Think it's in the pot? Smoke a little and see, see if you can find out what's in it. The Dow's up 7 points. There's the Obama bounce. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at all these schmata heads there in India. And in Afghanistan and Pakistan.
You are in the CNN News.
Now, there's the Antichrist right there. Is that Tony Harris idiot, that skinhead on CNN? He needs to be taken away. They need to come in and drag him off the set. So speaking about that good old-time religion, which we were before the break.
Yes.
The Roman Catholic Church has once again revealed how in touch it is with modern times by calling for a ban on Facebook-like social networking sites. The Italian Episcopal Conference slammed social networks today after opening a site of its own.
Oh, God.
Apparently, the fear is that people who use social networking sites will turn into individuals who start to think for themselves. Archbishop Pompili hit out about what he called networked individualism, which he said creates people who terminate links with the surrounding area. We guess the Archbishop thinks that the only people who are supposed to live in such unhealthy isolation and live in the world but not of it are monks and nuns. He warned that the relationships formed online were not real. Well, not as real as well, I guess he must be listening to this show, the fake this one and the fake that one. Well, not as real in the same way as such important things like invisible gods, angels, virgin births, and papal infallibility. Now that be real. Facebook and its ilk create an online egocentrism and are responsible for drying up of relationships, he said. Although asking a celibate priest about relationships is like asking a vegan about the best type of meat feast pizza to buy. Vegan. Can't we say vegetarian?
It's different.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh.
There are different levels,
Oh, I see.
Hierarchies.
Dumb, dumber, and dumbest. The chairman of the Italian Episcopal Conference, Bishop Mariano Crociata, said that the Internet varies between elation and mistrust, and it's time to find a middle way. He didn't say what the middle way was. However, banging on the evils of the Facebook does not strike us especially balanced. All this is ironic when the Church has released its own Vatican social networking site, which is designed to stick its priests a little closer to the faithful. If the Church fears people will become individuals by using social networking sites, then surely it is sending its own faithful to hell and sticking demons on its friends list. How do you like that? And end the secular social networking. All you people on MySpace and Your Face and Facebook and all this other? No more. Oh, and guess what?
What?
A Catholic priest has been removed from the ministry over an allegation he sexually abused a child while serving at a Newark church in 1985. I thought it would be cute to have those two stories right together, side by each.
Ass to ass.
Boy, that's... Look at that.
Look at that.
I'm all the way down to Mary Shaw and why God does not belong at the inauguration. And then I got that thing about that ice cream. So that means we run. It's only 11 o'clock, 11:05, and we've run out of emails. Oh, my God. I'm going to have to do it for 3 hours.
I have no life. I have no life. I have no life.
A Catholic priest has been removed from the ministry. Father Frederick Lloyd was removed from active ministry after officials of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Columbus investigated a complaint and found the abuse allegation was credible. The sexual abuse allegedly occurred while Lloyd served at St. Francis de Sales Church in Newark, where he was the associate pastor from 83 to 87, the church announced. Bishop Frederick F. Campbell removed Lloyd from ministry December 10. The church is studying options to permanently remove him since its preliminary conclusion is not proof of guilt, the release said. The church's news release said the complaint was the first specific allegation of this nature it received about Lloyd, 64, who retired from active ministry in 2006. He had been a priest in the Columbus Diocese since 1970. A message seeking comment from Lloyd was left at his Columbus home, but obviously not returned. Church officials said they notified Newark police of the alleged abuse. However, Sergeant Barry Connell said officers never investigated because the age of the case precludes prosecution. Ohio law requires most felony charges be filed within 6 years of the offense. Yeah, leave the social networking sites to the priests, to Fathers O'Toole,
That's
okay?
right.
So they can get together with some hot young boys. Altar boys, that's right.
You like gladiator movies?
What?
How's it going?
Well, here's George. He's going to give you some intellectual crap the next 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
528 votes on the poll. Oh, here's Barry Jackass. Says, I'm trying to get to the bottom of this Anita Marks thing. Joe Bell has not returned my calls. You may find this photo interesting. Check out the background. And it's a NFL, some kind of a shindig, and way off to the side, 560 WQAM, our QM banner. And then there's an attachment here, which I don't want the attachment. The attachment's just going to be a bigger version of the same picture, isn't it?
I guess.
No, it's just not a big screen, just the same small picture, only smaller. Well, that really is very helpful, Barry, you jackass. And why is Mama B sending me a picture of Miss Drudge with a little dog?
I give up.
And some other queen with Miss Drudge. I don't know. I have no idea. The Catholic priests, says Glenn, are just disgruntled since MySpace and Facebook started reporting pedophiles lurking on their sites. Yeah, that must be it. Maybe they're a little PO'd about that. Neil at neilrogers.com. That's where to send your emails. And we need about 10,000 of them to get to 2 o'clock today. Otherwise, we're just playing
I have no life.
till 2.
I have no life.
My God. Joey Reynolds. See, this is the day after the inauguration. See how everything is like fallen silent now?
Yep.
They had the inaugural balls last night, both of them. They had 10 balls. I guess you'd be pretty busy if you had 10 balls.
I imagine. Juggling, especially.
Oh, they're confirming the cabinet in Congress or not.
Was a leader when it came to calling for financial regulatory reform, and this is really someone who was cut out exactly for this.
Yeah, well, cut it out. Mary Shaw's got a good column on the smirking chimp. By the way, please somebody send them some money so they stop begging for money every day. My God. Wouldn't it be something if we went on the air every day and begged for money? Keep the show going. Send us some money or else.
Let's try it. It's good enough for PBS.
How did your
and all
appearance
the
go, by the way, last Saturday? You never told me about it.
It was surprisingly good considering that it was 10 in the morning.
Really?
About half a dozen people showed up, but they were really nice people.
Well, that's not surprisingly good.
That is surprisingly good.
It is?
All things considered, and they brought gifts. I got a nice calendar. I got some videos. I got to send you one, as a matter of fact.
Send me what?
Liz gave me a copy of Flipper, the movie.
Oh, you were also going to send me all that stuff from Joyce, too, but nobody ever put anything in the pouch.
Oh, that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that. Yeah, all that very important stuff that I'm supposed to read and
not
what?
Important.
It's a bunch of crap.
You'll get it eventually.
It's a bunch of impropaganda from Joyce and the other Nazis who run this company. We got the Nazis out of Washington. Now let's get them out of Naples. 532 votes on the poll. This is, I think I'm going to change it. Drop a Joyce. I mean, what kind of crap is that? Well, I know what kind of crap it is. Oh, don't be giving me those Joey Reynolds rim shots. What a jackass. What are you laughing about? It's no laughing matter.
You're right
Poll
about that.
switch. Oh, yeah, this next poll isn't so bad. I think it's one from a Ray D who's driving me nuts lately. Just out of control. When listening to the Neil Rogers Show, whose opinions and observations do you agree with most often? Neil's, George's, the board ops, which we don't have one anymore, but I guess in the past, an intelligent caller, like, I'm your friend, a random emailer, fake celebrity, and no one. I don't listen to the show or participate in polls.
Boy, we're
I
getting
agree with
desperate
my own
now,
opinion most. What?
We're getting desperate now, aren't we?
You don't like that poll?
No.
Well, that's Ray D.
Sorry, Ray.
You don't like him, do you?
Oh, I like him fine.
It's just like Keith Olbermann. I don't know him. And didn't I already say that the rumor is that he's a real bastard and that he was pushing for Imus to get canned for a long time?
Yeah, I don't care.
But that's personal. His show, sure. He's been the one bright light on the air, unmasking the Nazis for the last couple of years.
He's the one.
He be the one, that's right. And Rachel, she's just a Keith wannabe. She's a guy. I'm telling you. Which most closely fits your bathroom hygiene? We close this turkey out. 532 votes. Charlie B, get something a little more sanitary going. God. Drop a Joyce, wash hands always, 321. Drop a Joyce, wash hands sometimes, 145. Wash hands, then drop a Joyce, then wash hands again, 36. Drop a Joyce, never wash hands, 24 slobs. Oh, I can smell them now. Wash hands, drop a Joyce, and then don't wash hands afterwards, 6, which makes the whole thing pointless in the first place.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports lead.
Oh, God.
Live breaking news.
Want to take you back out live to Washington, where Hillary Clinton is having her confirmation hearing. Let's listen in for a bit.
We need a good shot. I was having a little fun. You know, it's hard to find time, but occasionally you can sneak that in.
She is expected to be confirmed.
Great New Year's Eve party.
There are questions about...
My stomach is in knots.
Oh. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Okay, 11:17 at 560 WQAM. Here's a vegan versus vegetarian email coming along, which I'm sure is going to be really... Here's one from Chronic Rocky. Did F and Jorge go to Five Guys or what? Oh, that's right. That was supposed to be your assignment for the weekend.
No, I did not.
Please tell me you saw George Bush Sr. pat the ass of that Marine as he came out of the tunnel before he was seated at the inauguration. Oh, I got to block this guy. This guy is Ernie Banks, you know?
No, I don't know.
Well, yeah, you do. Just another chronic emailer who never has anything, nothing. Just a bunch of smarm. Just a bunch of smegma on a piece of paper. Tim says, in general, vegans eat no animal-produced food. No meat, no eggs, no cheese, butter, whereas a vegetarian won't eat any animal product that harms the animal. Milk, eggs, cheese, butter, all okay, but steak is out of the question. What? You believe that?
What do you mean believe it? There are different shades. There aren't just vegetarians and vegans. There's all kinds of things in between.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I know one of the things in between.
Uh-huh.
PETA.
Mm-hmm. Fanatics.
Sure.
Well, whatever you say, Tim.
There are people that don't eat, that are vegetarians where they only won't eat beef, but they'll eat chicken and fish. And then there are quote-unquote vegetarians that will eat
Well,
eggs
guess what? The chicken and the fish, I got feelings too, mister.
I know. There are vegetarians, quote-unquote vegetarians, they call themselves that will only eat eggs and dairy, but not any other, not flesh. And then, you know what
that sounds like to me? It sounds like religion.
It's a lot of it is very, very, it's the same way, their mentality.
Wesley in Lakeland's got something fairly informative, fairly interesting, and depressing. After 25 years with Clear Channel Radio, Gabe Hobbs' status as an industry pioneer was solid. It was
rock solid.
Not as rock solid as our guy between 1 and 2, who's got a 1.1 share. He discovered Fox News Channel star Glenn Beck when he was spinning top 40 cuts in New Haven, Connecticut. He created sports talk powerhouse WDAE AM and developed WFLZ-FM's classic Power Pig format, which shot the stage to prominence in the early 90s. By the way, what's his name doing? Bubba, I get no spy reports on him at all. Bubba the Love Sponge?
Well, now that you ask, maybe you'll get some.
But when the company hit 1,850 positions Tuesday, they cut 1,850 positions yesterday at nearly 9%. It's a reduction some are calling the Inauguration Day massacre. Even Hobbs found he wasn't exempt. See, they did this on Inauguration Day so as to get as little publicity about it as possible.
Right.
But thanks to Wes in Lakeland, we got the straight dope. Where's Barry Jackass with all his lowdown on this, huh? You're slipping bad, Barry, Mr. Radio Expert. Still, he remained loyal to the company he's defended for years, despite criticisms that layoffs seemed a time to ensure the news would be drowned out by coverage of the historic presidential inauguration. You pour 25 years of your life into something, it's like a marriage. You just can't say, I hate you, said Hobbs, 52, who began working at a corporate ancestor at Clear Channel Republic in 1984, coming to Tampa in 88. Officials at Cheap Channel Radio declined to comment on the firings or name those who lost their jobs, giving journalists an internal memo sent by Chief Executive Mark Mays to employees. Mark Mays, the Mays family, and don't include Willie in that bunch either. Industry websites such as radioandrecords.com collected unofficial list of those affected, including Joey B. Bellardita, executive producer of Todd Schmidt's morning show on WFLZ-FM. Bellardita is a 20-year veteran who shrugged off criticism about the layoff timing. When is a good day for somebody to lose their job, said Bellardita, 42. Yeah, it's true. It's never a good day. Hobbs had a towering list of duties at Clear Channel, Senior VP of Programming for News, Talk, and Sports Nationwide, Ops Manager for WFLA, WDAE, and WHNZ-AM, and caretaker of the company's relationships with area sports franchises. Oh, no. Possibly the highest-ranking executive affected by the layoffs, Hobbs recalled hiring local legend Jack Harris to work mornings at WFLA, helping develop the top-rated AM Tampa Bay show. And the brainstorming session that led to WFLZ-FM to be christened the Power Pig in 89 was held in his Riverview living room, sparking a rating success that permanently undercut dominant station WRBQ-FM, Q105. Now Hobbs hopes to land another job in the city he's called home for so many years. Don't blame the company for anything, he said. I might quibble with who they let go, but it's a tough economy. Tough decisions have to get made. Yeah. How do you like that? Gabe Hobbs, do you ever hear of him?
Nope.
Me neither. You care about him getting canned?
Nope.
And all those other people at Cheap Channel?
Nope.
Me neither.
Care about us?
Yeah, we care about us. And we're like skating on real thin ice with this crowd. But they want to do this, and they're going to what's that term he keeps using all the time?
I don't know, revisit,
no, not revisit. Rescrew. Rescrew the talent. That's what Jolly Joe wants to do, is rescrew. I wonder how many people wash their hands and junk before and after sex. Just something to think about, says Jay in Cooper City.
Me?
No, I don't want to think about it. They wash their hands and junk before and after sex. Wash your junk.
That's right.
Don't be a lunk. Wash your junk. I don't have anything about Bubba the Love Sponge in my emails here, so he must be continuing to, I don't know. Wouldn't you think he's been on long enough now? He's been on a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You think he's made some kind of an impact on the market?
I didn't mention them, but I've got a few more spy reports that he was saying nice things about you.
Oh, I don't want to hear that. That's such caca, man.
Those are the only
That's
reports
so transparent and so obvious. God, trying to use me to siphon audience in his direction, screw that. Saying nice things about me. That's the oldest.
Better than what the other people do when they hit town.
And what's that?
They immediately start blasting you,
Oh,
try to get
cares?
attention that way. No.
Oh, here's the fake Maricon guy who says, Maricon! Very good, very creative. Yeah. Here's one from Eddie. Well, I better print it out. Not that, Eddie Suarez. Boy, they're pretty weak. They're pretty, everybody's like just about passed out from all the energy we spent yesterday with the inaugural, with all those balls and stuff. Don't you think that's the excuse?
Must be.
36 votes on the new poll. When listening to the Neil Rogers Show, whose opinions and observations do you agree with most often? Neil's 21, George's 7. No one's. I don't listen to the show or participate in the polls, 5. If you don't participate in the polls, how did you vote? Huh? 5. A random emailer's like fake celebrity 2, an intelligent caller like I'm your friend 1, and board ops none because we don't have any more board op. So what's the story with that fat Chris Whalen?
How many times are you going to ask?
I'm going to ask every day till I get an answer.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to post this answer on the wall, and when it changes, I'll tell you. How's that?
No, I mean, seriously. He's the one that told me he wanted to do the stories on the website, and Josh Cordes didn't want to do them anymore, and yada, yada, and I sent him the check. And then he has never made any effort, evidently, to find out how to do it or to start doing it or whatever.
On it, I'm saying I know nothing. I
don't want to send a whole bunch of stories one day and then get an email back, oh, well, Josh Cordes don't have time to do it anymore, and Fat Chris, he's too much of a lazy lunk to do it,
I don't see the man.
I guess he just doesn't give a crap. He works from midnight till 6 in the morning. He's long gone by the time you come in.
I'm sure he's asleep right now.
Yeah. Eating.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, it only takes. I'm assuming that it takes him about an hour to get home. That's when he does his eating. He's asleep by now.
Yeah. And he doesn't care. He doesn't give a crap.
I can't confirm.
All the nice things we said about him, all the ass-kissing and all the sympathy for his making 5 cents an hour, whatever they were paying him, and how they screwed him over, and nothing. That's the nature of this business, man. People just really don't care. They put on an act when it's expedient for them, but when push comes to shovel, they just don't give a flying crap. And as far as Cordes is concerned, here's a guy that's always coming in there. Oh, it's time for my check. Oh, send me a check. I got to go out and get laid. I got to have a check. I got to go get drunk and get laid. And is he following through on this? I mean, this is still, the ball is still in his court.
I don't know.
The balls are still on his ass, okay? So let's get with it, Cordes, okay? Do it or get off the pot.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Oh, God, Neil.
Real American a-holes.
Real American a-hole.
We salute you, Mr. Fake ID Maker.
Mr. Fake ID Maker.
Sure, you don't have the best equipment. In fact, your scanners produce images only slightly sharper than Silly Putty on the Sunday comics.
Calvin and Hobbes.
It doesn't matter, though, because your customers are completely faced when they visit you anyway. Most establishments would deny little Jimmy his alcohol and tobacco. But thanks to you, he purchases a 40 and a pack of smokes with ease, while his underage friends wait around the corner.
Don't forget the matches.
Sure, the cops have tried to shut you down, but you provide a public service, keeping businesses that would otherwise go belly up in the black.
Ow!
So we salute you, Mr. Fake ID Maker, your inkjet printer, your 3 ex-wives, and the scores of hungover teenagers who couldn't get up for school today. You are a real American a-hole.
Okay, 11:32 at 560 WQAM. Here's one. There always have to be a bunch like these every day with emails, every single day. Mr. Rogers, I must say that I'm beginning to become concerned for your mental health. Yesterday afternoon, you read an email detailing how you had lost your edge since moving your show to Toronto, with which I vigorously agree. It was a very perspicacious observation, and especially since this is the person who sent it, I'm sure. The first one came from Jimmy Syphilitic, so there are 2 different ones. You read it as though it was the first time it was going on the air, claiming that it came in on Friday night. The reality, though, was that you had already read the same email on Friday. Now, do you recall that? Am I reading the same one?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, you do understand this.
What?
And that is that a lot of these people send the same email twice, 3 times, 4 times,
right,
even after I do read it on the air.
Right.
I mean, the reality, though, was that you... What?
That crap happens all the time. Sometimes we'll play the same bit twice. Who gives a rat's ass?
The reality was you already read that same email on Friday. Earlier in the show yesterday, you claimed you had only heard a total of George doing radio for a couple of minutes. This contradicted your earlier statements in the summer when you recounted how you listened to George doing the show and discussed in detail his show topic.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that because I don't listen. I don't listen to the radio, period. I certainly hope that the gloom of seasonal affective disorder SAD is not getting to you, or something worse. No, maybe just these idiotic emails are getting to me. It is sad. Oh, it is so freaking sad.
Oh, God.
Sad doesn't even come close to describing it. Oh, you're losing it, old man. You're losing it. In addition to which, there's so many of them that are similar. There was a follow-up to that. Jimmy Syphilis saying, oh, I agree with that emailer, and yada, 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 and since you moved to Toronto, and blah, 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 all this other crap. Guess what? I don't give a crap. How do you like that? I couldn't give a flying crap less. But if you got that much time,
I have no life.
Then keep writing the same smarmy crap, okay? Keep peddling it. No spy reports on Bubba the Love Sponge, by the way. He must really be kicking ass. Nothing. Here's one from the Star Tribune, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Massive cuts by national radio chain Clear Channel Communications hit home Tuesday with a layoff of more than 2,000 Twin City employees, including several on-air personalities. The highest-profile casualty, KFAN's Chad Hartman, a sports talk stalwart for nearly 20 years who also served as the Timberwolves play-by-play announcer for most of that run. His producer, Doogie Wolfson, was also let go. I wonder if he's kin to Doogie Howser. And I also wonder if he likes to do it Doogie style.
Ooh.
If we weren't facing this economic tsunami and this came out of nowhere and multiple people weren't let go, it would be a bigger surprise, said Hartman. Still, it's difficult when you're an individual who has to deal with it. He was given the news around the same time Obama was being sworn in. Oh, yeah. So obvious, so transparent. You grave-robbing lunatics at Cheap Channel. Clear Channel employees were braced for a rough day. The San Antonio... And where's the article about whoever got cut in the South Florida market? You know damn well that there were cuts there, too.
Right.
Barry Jackass should be on top of this, and we should be getting information about that instead of worrying about Anita freaking Marks. X marks the spot. Clear Channel employees were braced for a rough day. The San Antonio-based company, which operates more than 1,200 radio stations, was expected to trim its workforce by 7%. But Tuesday's cuts were worse than expected. 1,850 workers lost their jobs, a cut of 9%. The move, in response to a dramatic drop in ad revenue, is expected to save the company at least $400 million. Grave robbers. Chazers. Give that $400 million to me and George. We can have a good time with it.
That's right.
Like Rick Riley and Suds Coleman. Rick would take $399 million and give Suds 50 cents.
Here's a shiny quarter.
Yeah, that's right. $1 a holler. Most of the local cuts came from sales and promotion departments at the corporation's 7 Twin City stations. 3 other on-air personalities were silenced, however. Dan Riggs and Derek Moran, who spin pop oldies at KQQL 108, and K102 DJ Mary Gallus, who goes by the on-air handle Mary McKay at the country station. I wonder if she's kin to Jazz McKay.
Doubt it.
I doubt it. See ya. See ya. That was his trademark, see ya, and talking to all the jailbirds, and the fact that he had that big crypt that he used to schlep his wife around in. His whole life was in that big crypt.
Giant trunk.
Yeah, well, you call it a trunk. It was more like a crypt, wasn't it? Like when he opened it, you expect like maybe Dracula to come out?
Coffin is what you're thinking.
Crypt.
A crypt is a building.
It is?
Yes.
A crypt is a building?
Yeah. You're thinking coffin. Or casket, even.
A tisket, a tasket. It's a stone chamber or vault beneath the... Yeah, you're right. Like in a mausoleum.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bunch of crypts.
And the Bloods.
And here's a picture of some old crypts. Look at that. Looky, looky. Here comes Cookie. Raniere used to say that, and we could never figure out why.
I don't know. He said a lot of things we couldn't figure out.
That's true, but we liked him a lot. He's a good guy.
Yes.
He's dead. The good people are the dead people.
Squirt, squirt.
There are some who believe Clear Channel Communications timed its long-anticipated company-wide elimination of about 1,850 jobs to coincide with Obama. Now, which is this from? I don't know what this is from. I hate when they do that. Oh, this is from the Chicago Trib. But nothing about what happened in South Florida with Cheap Channel yet, Barry Jackass. Where's our sources? Where's our informers? What Clear Channel actually did with its dismissals in a bid to cut a reported $400 million in cost, including the unceremonious ouster of WNUA-FM 95.5 veteran Rick Odell, was to punctuate a moment in history. Obama in his inaugural address called the weakened economy a consequence of greed and irresponsibility on the part of some, but also our collective failure to make hard choices and prepare the nation for a new age. One might say the same of the situation at Clear Channel, where cuts expected since before Bain Capital Partners and Thomas H. Lee Partners last year closed its $17.9 billion deal to take the company private, likely became more severe as a result of the economic downturn. What is left is emblematic of a company and industry leads that for a decade or so believed resulting efficiencies would more than pay for consolidation, and when financial projections fell short after stations lost their individuality and edge in the marketplace, came to realize more cuts and sacrifices would be required. Just last summer, Earl Jones, Clear Channel's president and Chicago market manager, called Odell. Who's the guy?
I give up.
Well, it's in here somewhere. Oh, Rick Odell. They called him an icon in Chicago radio. On Tuesday, Odell had to stuff into his gym bag whatever souvenirs he could from almost 20 years at WNUA before being escorted to the elevator by a mailroom clerk. They escorted him to the elevator. You're out. You're out, Rick. Plenty of other names on air and behind-the-scenes personnel were floating around as also being among the cuts locally. Couldn't be confirmed at press time in the Chicago Trib. They're a good one to talk. They're like this. They own the Sun-Sentinel. They print about 4 pages a day. Chicago Clear Channel Management stonewalled, referring all inquiries to corporate headquarters in Texas. The company, in turn, would do no more than pass along a memo of surviving staff from Clear Channel executive Mark Mays. They are a bunch of bastards there. And this is the guy that was, Neil Rogers is the gold standard of talk radio. Ken Charles, a real loser if ever there was one. Ken Charles, over at local cheap channel in Miami.
2 first names.
Yeah, never trust a guy with 2 first names, like Howard David.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real good example.
That's right.
So there you go. And we're still waiting for Barry Jackass. Let me look before we do the break, and maybe Barry's got a breathless update of what's happening on the local cheap channel scene. Oh, here we go. Mama B. Oh, here's Tampa. Well, that's Tampa. Who gives a crap about it? You care about Tampa?
Nope.
Clear Channel cleans house. This is from Rochester. Well, I was born there. I don't even care about Rochester. Oh, the Mole. Mole says, I heard Bubba this morning railing on Todd Schmidt. They used to work together at FLZ in Tampa. Now they hate each other. Apparently, Schmidt did not have good numbers in Tampa, and they fired his producer yesterday. That's always a good idea. Fire the producer. That's what, what's her name? Babbling Brooke and Randy used to like to do.
Not just them.
Others?
Almost every other person that's like, plan A.
MJ played off, like Mo.
Right.
Schmidt played off like he didn't know his producer was going to get blown out. Outside of one on-air person getting blown out, it was mostly salespeople, including Joe Klein, who had been there for at least 10 years. And Kenny Kramer has got something here. Looky, here comes Cookie. Oh, boy. I can't wait to find out about that.
The biggest name.
Neil? God?
560 WQAM. Your sport hole leader has been taking a brutal beating in the ratings in the afternoon for too long. The last ratings book finally convinced management that Sportsfolia should never have expanded beyond a 5-minute featurette. It's entertainment you want, and information. Oh, is that what we're on the air for? Coming soon to Sport Hole Radio, 560 WQAM. The Blue Men. 3 guys painted blue will contort their bodies into different shapes and words to inform and entertain you.
Hi, we're the Blue Men. And we're...
Can I talk?
Yeah.
We can talk,
Sure, go ahead.
Our career only went as far as the Pentium Dual Core.
Yeah, we haven't been employed since the Pentium 4.
So now we bring our talents to you on the radio.
Okay, here. Here is the letter S.
I gotta hold my ankle.
The letter P.
On my shoulders. All right,
the letter P.
Oh, letter O. Everybody. Everybody. Oh.
All right. Back it down.
Letter R.
Arm back here. Left toe. Behind my right ear.
And letter R.
And T.
That's an easy one.
S again.
All right. S. Contorting.
S. For the benefit of our listeners, we just spelled sports.
The Blue Men. On 560 WQAM.
Oh, Tommy Joe's going to build a big wall of football, baby.
Nothing.
And just like the Berlin Wall, it came tumbling down.
Mm-hmm.
What were some other walls that came tumbling down?
Wall of football.
Yeah. Wall of football came tumbling and crumbling down. Woo! You can hear it hit the ground. Let's see. Here's one that says Clear Channel cuts begin, and it's got a list of every market. Philly, New York, Nicholas Petro exits WHTZ New York, Victor Lambert at, here we go. At Clear Channel's Miami cluster, programming assistant on-air host Victor Lambert exits after 5 years. That's all it's got in Miami. And you know damn well. See, if Tom Jicka and Barry Jackass, if they were on top of this crap, we'd already have it. But they're not. L-O-U-S. Maybe it's a misprint. Maybe it's Lewis. Kaplan exits OM of Clear Channel's Fort Myers, Florida cluster. First of all, what's a guy named Kaplan doing in Fort Myers? You can be damn sure we got nobody named Kaplan working at Beasley in Fort Myers. It sounds way too like that. Dayton, Ohio, New Haven, Delaware, Portland. But all we got in Miami is Victor Lambert. You ever hear of him?
Nope.
Never heard of him. Diego Ramos exits Clear Channel Top 40 WIOQ Philly. Ramos has been a morning fixture in the city of brotherly love for 18 years. Was most recently the local link of the syndicated Elvis Duran morning show Wow. What does that mean?
What part don't you understand?
Diego Ramos. I don't know who these people are. And you know what? I really don't care.
No, I never
it's
heard
just
of
that
them.
they're probably all good people, or most of them are, and getting screwed. Getting screwed because it's the nature of the business. Oh, we're in a recession and a depression. Don't you get it? Yeah, okay. So Kenny Kramer sends me, this is transcribed from vocalist Cleo Brown, recorded March 12, 1935. Well, I knew that Rainier's demographics were a little on the old side, but 1935?
Wow.
Looky, looky, here comes Cookie.
I see.
And it's got all the lyrics here. I don't know why. I guess Kenny's got a lot of time.
I have no life.
On his hands.
Do we have an original recording of it?
I don't think
we
so.
Can play? I'll add it to my collection. I got a lot of stuff from the olden days.
Oh, my goodness. Looky, 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 here comes Cookie walking down the street. Looky, 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 I call him Cookie because he's sweet. And it just goes on and on.
I could add it to my Edison recording collection.
When he's near, my lips say, oh, my heart says, ah, tra-la-la. When he kisses, oh, it's TNT for two. Looky, looky, here comes Cookie. Want to fix my tie? Just a little angel playing hooky from heaven on high. Oh, my, sweet as pumpkin pie. Punky pie. So that's where that came from. Looky, looky, here comes Cookie.
I see.
I didn't realize Ranieri was like 150 years old.
I'm getting a little tired of that crap. I can tell you right now.
I don't blame him. So thanks, Kenny Kramer. But boy, you talk about having way too much time on your hands. My God. 103 votes, but he sure is IOD intensive. Anything that ever went on over there, he knows it. He knows where all the bodies are buried. He knows where Steve Ziegler used to hide that big screwdriver.
Rectum.
Oh, yeah. Make no mistake about that.
No wonder it was warm.
Never forget the day when Steve Ziegler came in and took that bad hairpiece off his head and heaved it at me, and I gave him like a gigantic sitting ovation.
You should have kept it.
And done what with it? Could have had hang on to it from Mo.
Could have nailed it to the wall like it's a scalp.
Mm-hmm. And maybe it would have like moved around a little bit.
Maybe.
Or a lot.
Could have used it as a warmer.
Why do guys, in fact, there's a guy at Woodbine, a guy like maybe 70-ish, has a piece that makes Mo's look like art. That's how bad it is. And there was a lady playing next to me the other day, and she said, he was like a few machines down. And she said, why would anybody walk out of the house looking like that?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, that's a good question. I still wonder.
Why?
I don't know. I guess I said, maybe he doesn't have any mirrors in the house. And she chuckled, you know, ha, 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 ha. Like that.
Maybe he's a vampire. Can't see his reflection.
Oh, my God. A piece so ridiculous, so silly, and so fake, and so obvious. Like Moe's used to be, like a muskrat died on his head. Pete in Tampa says, Gabe Hobbs once presided over WFLA, which was once a terrific station when it had people like Lassiter, Lionel, and Chris Thomas. He obviously doesn't care about being fair and balanced or even having a decent product, as WFLA is now a virtual paid political announcement for the Republican Party. Sounds like IOD in Miami. Jimmy Syphilis, and Glenn Dreck, and Rush Limbaugh, and Schmidt-Meister, and all those other Nazis they got on the air. And that's because that's what Cheap Channel's really all about, peddling fascism. In the last few months, he has fired the two voices of reason who actually did live shows from here in Tampa, Mark Barrow and Daniel Ruth, says Pete in Tampa. Well, thanks for the bad news, Pete. That's Cheap Channel for you, a bunch of butchers and murderers. We finally got a little something here relating to Florida and Cheap Channel. Dan Sileo is taking over sports talk radio in the state. We've heard that name. Where did we hear that name?
I don't recall.
What do the massive cuts Tuesday at national radio giant Clear Channel mean, it asks? This is from the Orlando Sentinel. My radio sources tell me, this is written by Mike Bianchi. I wonder if he's kid to Al Bianchi, used to play for the Syracuse Nats in the NBA. My radio sources tell me it means every major market in the state might soon be all Sileo all the time. Local sports radio host Dan Sileo, who already simulcasts his morning drive time radio show in Tampa and Orlando, is on in Jacksonville as of this morning, and there's talk he may be on in Miami soon, too. Bye-bye, Jimmy Syphilitic. Oh, my. Wouldn't that be something if they blow out Jimmy Syphilis? In Jacksonville, he replaced popular longtime host David Lamb and his co-host Joe Coward at 9:30 a.m., the city's most established sports station, 9:30 a.m. Full disclosure, I do a morning radio show 9 to 11 a.m. with co-host Mark Daniels on 1080 a.m., not a Clear Channel station, so I guess you could call me a competitor of Silio's, although his show is on a different time slot, 6 to 9 a.m. Honestly, though I don't consider us to be competitors, I'm a sports talk junkie. I listen to sports talk no matter what station it's on. I've listened to Sileo since he arrived in Orlando 5 or 6 years ago. Frankly, I don't like where local sports is headed, with Clear Channel essentially cutting costs to simulcast syndicated shows into all their major markets. For instance, I like Sileo when he talks about sports Orlando's interested in, the Magic, the Gators, Seminoles, Knights, NFL, but we don't get nearly enough of those topics in Orlando because he's often talking about the Bucks, the Rays, and the Lightning snooze because he has to please his larger Tampa market. What's it going to be like now that he's in Jacksonville and Miami? Do we really want an influx of Jaguars, Heat, and Marlins talk on our local airwaves? The Marlins. The other news coming out of Clear Channel's cuts is that 7:40 a.m. may soon be dropping its Latin format and going back to an all-sports format with a lineup that includes Sileo in the morning, followed by syndicated programming, Dan Patrick and Jim Rome, with a chance that the legendary something doctor and partner Mike Tuck, the word's chopped off, will provide more local programming during afternoon drive. That's in Orlando. Stay tuned, it says. Stay tuned. Here's one that says, I do remember you talking of George's show, as the previous emailer stated. I remember you talking at length about the GR show. George has been trying to brand himself with a new lingo, sort of like J-Lo, etc. Puke-inducing, no doubt about it. Must have slipped your mind. By the way, is it Woodbine? What?
And mine, too.
Yeah, I don't recall talking about listening to George's show. And if I did, it was a long time ago. And what I'm telling you is I don't listen now, and haven't for a long time. By the way, is it Woodbine or Woodvine? To me, it sounds like the first one, a forever listener, Sam. Woodbine with a B, as in bitch, as in bastardo, as in bullschmidt, like that, B. Got it? As in how you be.
Okay.
How you be, well, what is it, Giorgio?
Who? Giorgio
Whatever
Armani?
he said you were calling yourself now.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I already threw it on the floor. It's already on the floor, so don't worry no more. 114 votes on the new poll. Pretty impressive. Not.
This is Dick Cheney. I like to relax by having Mary Magdalene massage my balls while listening to the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
Meanwhile, the Democratic race between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton still too close to call. We'll have more later. That went smoothly. Yeah. No, I'll have to ad-lib it. Give me one interesting exit poll, please.
Emery Banks for ABC 25 Today. Back to you, Jan.
Thanks, Maria. It's 6:17 in Health Watch this morning. Doctors in Utah are hoping for a new medical breakthrough to solve the problems of attention disorder behavior with problems with children. Attention deficit hyperactivity is a common disorder, and it affects 3 out of 5 kids, or actually 3 to 5% of the children with, let's start this all over again. Can we just back it up and start it over? I'm lost.
So I'm doing the first one. He's not expecting a big win. And then how has his money and staff situation changed? Okay, and then there's much more CBS News ahead. Okay, Freddie, Giuliani's dead. I mean, you know what I mean. Hey, Eric, did you use the cool shadow on the snow shot yet? The CBS? Yeah. It's so cool. I don't think it's hokey. I think it's so cool.
A local man spots something suspicious, and he decides to spring into action. He has done something that is very good.
Wheatland or Wheatland? Wheatland, right? How do you say that? Does anyone know? Sorry. Wheatland. 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 Okay. Oh, okay. Wheatland, Wisconsin. So I'll say Cynthia. Cynthia? She has pretty eyes. They're freaking me out a little. No, she looks like a husky. You know those weird blue eyes?
Like,
huh?
Yeah, like, are we not close out?
Cindy McCain has the most intense eyes. They're like light ice blue. And she had a purple suit on, and I mean, they were so intense. I was like, I couldn't stop staring at her. She must have thought I was weird.
Okay, thank you. All right, it's back to you, Jim.
Holly, don't let her go away. That's what. Does she have a response to that? Is she still there?
What's that?
Did the lady just leave?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. Should have kept that discretion.
She's back if you want her.
Yes.
She heard you.
Yes.
What would you like to know?
I'd like to know a response to what the gentleman said. The gentleman's a very effective spokesperson for the company, but obviously the people who live there are not satisfied with his explanation.
Right. So what do you want now?
Well, if I have to teach you how to be a reporter, Ollie, I'll do that later.
Oh, why don't you do that later, Jim? I think the lady expressed herself, and you're not here, you're there. Is there any question you'd like me to ask her?
No, I'll give you lessons on how to become a reporter later.
Well, I'll give you some lessons on how to be an editor, because I was your boss once.
Yeah, you were, and are no longer. How did that happen?
Well, I don't know.
Here's Ernabel DeMillo.
Clearly, putting a mission accomplished on an aircraft carrier was a mistake.
Were some people predicting Obama would beat Hillary by 20 points? 10? Double digits, okay.
Obviously, some of my rhetoric has been a mistake.
Tonight, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake rattled Alaska's seismically active Aleutian Islands. It was magnitude 7.2. It was a very large earthquake. The good thing is there were no immediate reports of any damages or injuries. So,
Right after the break, we're going to interview Eric Weihenmayer, who climbed the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. But he's gay. He's blind. So we'll hear about that.
Okay, as we head to the break, a look at the six.
There have been disappointments. Abu Ghraib obviously was a huge disappointment during the presidency. Not having weapons of mass destruction was a significant disappointment.
I know who likes chocolate. Our Zane Virgie loves chocolate. One of our main cadets. Oh, nice melons behind you there.
Whoa!
Whoops, I'm sorry. Was that a
As we check the buoys outshore, I don't appreciate the speculation about Don Rumsfeld. He's doing a fine job. I strongly support him.
Well, what do you say to critics who believe that you're ignoring the advice of retired generals, military commanders, who say that there needs to be a change?
I say I listen to all voices, but mine's the final decision. And Don Rumsfeld is doing a fine job. I have strong confidence in Don Rumsfeld. I hear the voices. But I'm the decider.
Huckabee. He wasn't expecting to win. Okay, and then I'd like to ask her, in South Carolina, he should do better. I would rather look ahead to that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, one moment, please, for Major Bulletin. Sirius stock, 10 cents.
Okay.
Okay. Jen, hold on 2 seconds, Rick. Can you hold on 2 seconds? Jen, where's my new Clinton-Obama, those two cards you made me? That you put on, you condensed to 2 cards? Oh, here it is. Here it is. You have to just title them, okay?
Okay.
Clinton, Obama, you know what I mean? Okay. Because otherwise it's hard for me to pull them out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Never mind. Sorry. Okay, sorry, Rick.
Okay.
Is that a bad monitor on top, just out of curiosity? Does that look so much better in the one below? So I guess Romney was exuding kind of false confidence, right? Harkening back to his Olympic experience in Salt Lake City. Well, will he do well in Michigan? Today is Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Wow. What a production by Chicken Neck there, huh? Where did all that stuff come from?
That was great.
Late Great 08 is what the title is of that. And it's 6 minutes and some odd.
Mm-hmm.
Which is enough to make me want to play 2008 Year in Review.
Do it.
Come on.
Play those back-to-back for an entire segment.
Now, you better grasp the sides of your chair. Grab your seat, okay?
Rectum. All right.
Although this is from some unnamed person with a phone number only.
Okay.
And he follows up the first one with one that says, "Oh, and AM radio is over." No, Schmidt. I told the audience that years ago, didn't I?
Yep.
Dead as a doornail. I said, take your radio and put it in the toilet and flush it. Crank the handle, baby. Crank it. Here's what's going to happen, says this anonymous emailer with a phone number. WIOD is going liberal talk, move from 940, meaning Scare America. They're shoving that over to IOD. 940 is going sports talk with Sileo and AM Drive. 103.5 is getting Limbaugh and crew. Expect call letter changes. How do you like that?
Okay.
Did you follow that?
I heard it.
According to this, now we have no verification, and of course, Tom Jicka and Barry Jackass are as clueless as the day is long. WIOD is going liberal talk, meaning Scare America moved over from 940. Well, that's what they do the best. They keep shuffling stuff around from one station to the other.
Yeah.
940 is going sports talk with Sileo and AM Drive. Oh, my God. Another sports talk station with that big 50,000-watt signal in the middle of the dial. Oh, my. Speaking of dial, I bet you Jolly Joe's dropping a big pile hearing that. 103.5 is getting Limbaugh, and crew expect call letter changes. Maybe the Humper's going to show up over there on 940.
Maybe.
Wouldn't that be poetic justice?
Yes.
Wow. So that's the rumor from some unconfirmed phone number guy. With not even with a fake name, you know? Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, AM radio's dead. As if we needed any confirmation of that. That's like saying to the people on the Titanic, oh, and guess what? We're going down. Lisa Skolnick-Colvin says, is this hit real? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, it's got a link to something. I don't know, and I don't care, and I'm deleting it right now. Is this link real? The Inauguration Day Massacre is what they're calling it in Tampa and all over the country as Cheap Channel cuts 1,850 jobs nationwide. So if that's the case, if that's really true, what we just had on there about the Clear Channel moves, which we've been hearing a lot of rumors about that for a long time, that means Jimmy Syphilitic's out of work. All the rest of the stuff they got on there is syndicated. You know, Limbaugh and Schmidt, Beck. It's all syndicated direct.
Right.
The only local yokel they got on there is Jimmy Syphilis in the morning. I don't think he's going to be around to be on liberal talk radio, you know what I'm saying? After his fascist rants of the last few months that he's been on. Bye-bye, Jimmy. I don't have any emails from Jimmy today saying, oh, gee, it sure has been fun. And we're getting the pink slips over here at Cheap Channel. Always taking all these shots at me and you and this station and the other, which, believe me, we deserve plenty, but nevertheless. Look in the mirror, Jimmy. Your days are numbered, and I think probably in single digits. And won't that be great? An all-sports station with a morning show coming out of Orlando. That should be very topical, shouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So how many sports stations does that mean we got in the market now?
About 30, man.
Ray Perry ought to be happy about that, because he told us years ago, if we just had 100 sports talk stations, it would bring a lot more people to sports talk. Right, and divide the audience up by 100 times. Maybe that's how we got to that point at night, 9 o'clock. Brandon says, here's your Bubba Spy report. I can't stand Bubba. He's a lot like Howard in the fact that he goes way over his allotted time show slot. 10:40, and he was still on, name-dropping left and right. How do you like that? See, you get suckered in because he keeps kissing my ass and kissing up to me, but the fact of the matter is he's on there competing with us.
I don't know what you mean by that. I get suckered in?
Yeah, you get sucked in.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You just get conned by the Bubba crowd.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're saying all these nice things about me.
I said that the last spy report I got, he was still saying nice things about you.
Who cares?
I was not getting sucked in.
I hope he kicks the crap out of Ron and old Paul. That would be great. But I don't know. I'm sure not getting like a lot of feedback. Maybe his audience and ours just have no common ground. You know what I'm saying? Common ground.
Coffee grounds?
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. Oh, I see. This is just another news story. Sure getting a lot of stories today. People doing this and people getting busted for doing that and for slinging crap, bad meat, a taco smell, and stuff like that. But it kills some good time, though. Helps to mail it in. Big time. Send us a stamp and help us mail it in.
560 QAM. And now it's time for our long-distance dedication. It's from Hank Goldberg, and he writes, please play The Air That I Breathe and dedicate it to my Kim Basinger blow-up doll.
New from Interrogation Toys. It's the board game that's making a huge splash. Waterboarding! It's waterboarding. The CIA torture tactic is now available for you to play along with at home. It comes complete with table, restraining straps, blindfold, saran wrap, towel, and 5 different levels of interrogation questions.
Are you cheating on me?
No!
Liar!
You supply the water faucet, we'll supply the fun.
Yay! Waterboarding!
You'll never be bored playing waterboarding. Get your family and friends to tell the truth. torture your neighbor who never mows his lawn. Or use it as some sort of weird sexual fetish. Waterboarding.
Okay, I got a real good idea. What?
What?
No, let me play that again, but just a little bit of it. And I want to see if I can get the other channel back.
Oh, okay.
New from Interrogation Toys.
Maybe it's the disc, or maybe it's the maybe it's the Denon.
It's possible.
You think it's about time for them to go out again? Remember, I replaced those?
Yeah, you should jiggle all your wires.
There's no wires to jiggle.
In the back of the Denon there's got to be wires. Everything's wires.
Oh, get out of here. I'm going to get up and go behind the thing here.
Right now.
Are you crazy? When?
Before the show tomorrow. We'll jiggle them.
Well, let me try a different disc.
Okay.
Warner's got it. Back to throw. Looks left. Throws for Hightower. Caught.
You're right. It's the Denon. That's bad. Or maybe it's the pot.
It
could
be
the pot. You're the pot expert.
We got to do the troubleshooting procedure.
What is that?
Tomorrow morning we'll start with the source and trace it.
I mean, do they sound okay on the air?
Yeah, well, it gets monoed out by the time it gets here, but probably we're missing something. How do we know what we're missing? Because we're not hearing it.
You're not missing nothing, believe me. Trust me. In this place, you're missing something? Boy, you're dreaming. Anyway, Lisa emails back, says, "Hi again, sir. I didn't flesh out my question better, but I sent it during the Katie Couric bit. I was asking if that was really her or a bit. I have no links on my page." Well, that is really her, Lisa. That's her. She's a simpleton, a moron, and a bubblehead, and those are real outtakes from various crap. Which Chicken Neck worked his ass off undoubtedly. In fact, it was so good, I think we ought to play it again.
I agree.
5 or 10 times.
I agree.
What do you think?
And who are those people arguing? I used to be your boss and now not. Who are those people? Because that was funny. That was the funniest
I don't
part.
know. I have no idea.
Chicken Neck will know.
What? Yeah, Chicken Neck will tell you. He'll give you the straight poop. Here's one that's got a bunch of comments about Dan Sileo. It seems to me, I could be wrong, but I remember the name. Wasn't he once upon a time on the air in this market, like on Fox Sports Radio or one of those incarnations?
It sounds familiar, but my brain tuned it out, which means probably that's what it was.
I'm pretty positive he was on one of these incarnations of sports talk radio, the 80,000 we've had in the last several years. Went over like a pregnant pole vaulter in the middle of July at the equator. Not good. Here are some comments, and I don't know where these are from, Mama B. I don't know where these comments are from. It's very sad. It says very little about the quality of sports talk radio when a buffoon like Dan Sileo can go statewide. He's either dirt cheap or the sports talk audience in the state are a bunch of mental midgets. Sileo comes at a lower asking price than other syndicated talk show hosts. The reasons why are blatantly obvious. It's cheaper to beam and pay one guy across several markets than to pay several guys to focus on one market. AM and FM are dead technology anyway, it says. Try podcast or satellite radio. So many more choices. And let me say it again, as far as satellite radio is concerned, Sirius is 10 cents, but you should know that that's not the lowest point.
Right.
No, it's not. They reached 8 cents a few weeks ago. Because you can see the high and low the last 52 weeks. 8 cents. Then they went zooming back up to 16, 17 cents, and now they're sliding back to a nice, comfortable dime. If you got a dime, you can buy a share of Sirius. I'm cereal. You want some?
Please.
It's a buying opportunity, man. That's what Maria would tell you. How's the markets doing? It's another reason why not to watch CNN. They put the number in the bottom right-hand corner in such tiny print now. You couldn't read that if you had like 100 vision. You turn over to MSNBC, though. Where the hell is it? And they got it there. The S&P is up 10.5 points. Police investigating unknown white substance at the Wall Street Journal. That's the breaking news.
That were found
is
at
that
the Wall
Contessa?
Street Journal, which is, of course, based in
the Dow's
New
up
York
76.5
City. So
points.
when we find out more details about what's happening there at the Wall Street Journal, we will pass those along. Quick break here. We'll be right back.
Okay, good. Police are investigating an unknown white substance at the Wall Street Journal. That right-wing rag. Maybe the liberals are getting even with all you right-wingers now. That would be good. Take a powder. Maybe it's BC powder. Is there anybody except rednecks who uses BC powder?
You've asked that before.
So. We did what?
You asked that before.
Just like RC Cola. Although I do like RC Cola fine. I don't see it around here.
I don't see it around much anymore either.
I did have some. In fact, I still got some Diet Dr. Pepper that I'm drinking right now. Not caffeine-free, though. What?
Dr. Pepper.
You don't like Dr. Pepper? What is wrong with you, man? You got such goyish a taste.
Awful. It's like poison.
Get out of here. Let me take a big swig of it right now.
Better you than me.
I'm dying over here.
It's good. I love Dr. Pepper. Although, like I said, they do not make... I think there should be a law for those of us fat people. And since the majority of people are overweight or fat or obese, there ought to be a law made by the FDA, and here as well, that any beverage that's produced with sugar is also made in sugar-free and caffeine and sugar-free. You know, like caffeine-free Diet Pepsi, caffeine-free Diet Coke, like that.
Correct.
Am I right?
Yes.
There should be a freaking law to protect those of us who don't want to, you know, I'll take my sugar and ice cream or something that tastes good. Candy. Pie. Punky pie. I don't like punky pie. I like blueberry pie just fine.
Blueberry.
You had blueberry pie in a while?
No, not lately.
I have. I just love blueberries. Roberto Benigno Campos thought there ought to be a law for kicking a man out of the bar closing time, police said in Tampa. They got real tourists over there in Tampa. When the staff at the Shangri-La Gentleman's Oasis scooped up his drink at 3:15 a.m. to shut down for the night, Campos called 911 to say he had been robbed, an affidavit says. Tampa police were not amused. Officers arrived at the Bikini Bar, 2310 North Dale Mabry Highway, sized up the situation and told Campos no crime had been committed. Campos, 33, was undeterred, called 911 3 more times to report a drink robbery, the affidavit said. Drink robbery. They stole my drink. They stole his drinky poo. How do you like that?
Bastards.
The St. Petersburg man also advised authorities police didn't help him because he was a supporter of President Barack Obama. At that point, police were glad to help Campos to jail. Police charged him with misdemeanor misuse of the 911 system for calling the emergency number for a purpose other than obtaining public safety assistance. Campos was released this morning on a $500 bail, jail records show. They got some real strange people doing stuff like at Taco Smell and at bars and, you know, places like that. That's because there's some real strange people over there on the West Coast. Not that we don't have some strange people in South Florida. And some really strange people in Toronto, like at Woodbine. Oh, there was a chick sat down next to me yesterday. I just wanted to die. I mean, she was young. She wasn't like some old, you know, Eastern European bitch that never saw a bar of soap. She was like a young lady, you know.
Yeah.
Chubby, fat.
Yeah.
Maybe fat people have bad hygiene, you think?
There are places they just can't reach. Let's, you know.
I see.
Not to mention the folds.
Like maybe.
Rectum.
Yeah, like maybe there. Oh,
All
she smelled worse than that part of the body ever could. I was swooning. My head, I really started getting dizzy and my head was, you're laughing. I was crying. My head was spinning. I felt like Ted Kennedy at lunch yesterday. What about poor Teddy, huh, man? That's just...
Speaking of...
Yeah, speaking of that.
I'm getting lightheaded.
I mean, why would you go there and why would his doctors let him stand out there in the freezing cold for 2 hours?
You know,
well, I understand, but they could have brought him out for like the most important, for the speech and like that, you know. For a few minutes, they could have schlepped him out there. A lot of really doddering, sick people at that inauguration yesterday. Old man Bush with his cane and his, whatever that thing was, in his nose. And Cheney in a wheelchair with a cane. I wonder where Bobby Bird was laying down. I think he was laying down on the mall.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
You know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
What's going down with you, man?
Are you aware that when you sing, you do a stabbing motion?
That was weird.
Another season of American Idol. And the epic fail it promises.
That is slightly disturbing.
These dorks can't help but thinking that they sing a little more tight than everyone else. But they fall and make us freaking hurl. With Simon making them shut up.
I can't stand them.
Yeah, they start to cry or get angry. You suck! When losers are put down, they're gonna scream. Oh yeah, that's right. They're singing awful, baby. Leave me laugh all night. When they suck on American Idol.
You have one of the worst voices I've ever heard.
See, you definitely blow.
Nice voice.
Okay, 12:31 at 560 WQAM. Here's one that says, Neil the Bastard said on his show that he went on the Jam Cruise last week and had so much fun that if not for his job at 790, he would have just stayed on the ship till his money ran out. Seeing that he's all that 790 has left, I think WQAM should just pay him to stay on the cruise until Waxy goes under. Yeah. Great idea, huh? Jimmy Dworsky says, tell these phony psychologists to take out their pretend prescription pads, tear off the top sheet, and wipe their asses with it. The only edge you've lost is the quality of listeners. I guess most of the smart people in Florida, however few there were, packed up and got the hell out of town after the last hurricanes and market collapse. All that's left are retards with too much time on their hands who don't realize there's a knob on the radio that allows them to change the station if they don't like what they hear. But they won't do that because they're probably the same people who snobbishly email you about food and their big fat asses can't get off the fake leather sofa because they don't realize Panera Bread is fast food too. What's Panera Bread?
I was going to ask you.
Oh, I don't know. Hopefully President Obama can ship off these dingbats before Guantanamo is closed. I'd like to know how they'd enjoy a fine banquet of bread and water, followed by having their sphincters jump-started with a car battery. And while we're shutting down torture buildings in Cuba, let's also deliver a bunker buster to the radio station that interferes with QAM signal. The only time I want salsa is when it's right next to a big bowl of chips. But let's not discuss food. The snobs might start emailing again. Take care, Neil and George. Says good old Jimmy D.
Thank you, Jimmy. That was nice.
Now, he's always nice, Jimmy
right
D. He's like a positive guy, which we don't have too many on these emails. Most of it is, bah, bah. Here's one from Stephen Ocean Reef. He says, it's time to stop talking and complaining. The time has come for WQAM to fix the weak radio signal. Management can't be that cheap. Oh, that's what you think. Give us the listeners a clean, clear signal. The bleed over from the Latin signal is killing the ability to listen to WQAM. In the words of President Obama, enough. Enough already. Ganug. Isn't that what Obama said yesterday? Ganug?
Yes.
That's what Stephen Ocean Reef. Well, thanks, Steve. Where's Ocean Reef?
Over yonder.
Now, where is it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'll find out.
My God, I thought you were the expert in all things like that.
Right. Why?
Geography and, geometry?
Right. Exactly.
Ocean Reef.
Key Largo.
I don't think we ever had an email from anybody in Ocean Reef before.
Key Largo.
I would have asked. Key Largo?
Key Largo.
185 votes on the poll. When listening to the Neil Rogers Show, whose opinions and observations do you agree with most often? Neil's 105, George 43. No ones that don't listen to the show or participate in the polls 18. 18 who are participating in the poll. The Dow's up 74 points. Big deal. That's the Obama bounce. 77. 77. Board Ops 10, meaning like Fat Chris and Cordis. A random emailer, fake celebrity like the fake Alice Rantel, fake Jerry Reynolds, 7. An intelligent caller, I'm your friend, 4. They'd agree with intelligent callers more often if A, we took calls, and B, we had any intelligent callers. There's your Florida Senator, Bill Nelson.
Yes, that was covered.
No, that's not him speaking. That's this. He's speaking, but this chick on MSNBC is yapping.
That's a little bit of what you're saying right now, too.
And talk about logistics here, because when we're hearing Senator Cornyn suggest...
Isn't that the Contessa? The flying Contessa?
Okay. I don't know.
And on 680 News here, they got some chick called, what the hell's her name? Max? I don't know what her name is. What's with chicks with all these men's names, you know? If anybody ought to have a man's name, it's, what's her name there? Rachel Maddow. She ought to be Steve Maddow. Or as in Steve Geldstein. I'm telling you, it's Geldy. It's Geldy with like a bad wig. Maybe Mo left one of his pieces behind, you think?
Maybe.
Former Delray Preach. That was a slip of the tongue. It was excellent.
Cute.
Former Delray Beach priest John Skehan pleaded guilty this morning to a charge of grand theft of more than $100,000, but his successor plans to go to trial on identical charges. Skehan is scheduled to be sentenced March 20. In pleading guilty, Skehan gave short answers of yes, Your Honor, to Circuit Court Judge Jeffrey Colbath. Ever take a cold bath?
Just this morning.
After the hearing, Skehan hurried away without answering questions from the media. State Attorney's Office spokesman Michael Edmondson said the judge will determine Skehan's punishment. Grand theft more than $100,000. He's effectively throwing himself at the mercy of the court, they said. An agreement reached with prosecutors earlier this year fell apart when a judge rejected it. The agreement would have spared Skehan prison time and allowed him to return to his home in Ireland. He could search for the Loch Ness Monster. Skehan, 81, and the Reverend Francis Guinan, 66, were charged in 2006 with stealing more than $800,000 from St. Vincent Ferrer Catholic Church in Delray Beach over a 6-year period. Skehan, who was pastor at the church for more than 40 years, is accused of paying for homes in Florida and Ireland and for vacations abroad and giving money to his girlfriend, all with collection money. Guinan, who succeeded Skehan as head of the church in 2003, faces similar accusations that he skimmed church funds to give money to his girlfriend and to support his gambling habit. Well, at least these guys had girlfriends. That's something. Maybe the Pope will give them like some special honor. Both men were charged with a single count of grand theft of more than $100,000. Guinan attorney Richard Barlow said the accusations against his client are wrong. He said the money went to employee bonuses, building improvements, and other explainable expenses, like maybe getting laid and stuff. We can certainly account for most of it, Barlow said. The case of the two Irish-born priests has drawn international attention and other scandals in the Catholic Church. Originally, an audit by the Diocese of Palm Beach showed the pair took more than $8 million worth of church funds over 20 years, but prosecutors had legal time limits on what they could file charges for. $8 million bucks, boy. Nice outfit, Father.
Mm-hmm.
What a joke. But you people continue showing up every Sunday, putting money in their plate so they can live high off the old hog. Here's one from Pete the Chronic Spy Report. On the Bubba Show, he had Cheap Channel employees, ex-employees ripping Cheap Channel, especially ripping, what's his name, Todd Schmidt. They ripped him an ass, and apparently he is suing Bubba. And how that jackass judge messed up, how about, Judge Roberts yesterday messed up the swearing in of Obama. He said he wasn't gonna bring, notes, he wasn't gonna bring it written out. He was gonna do it from the top of his head, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and he screwed it up, and Obama looked at him and paused like, what's up, Judge, you like on drugs or something? My God. That was embarrassing. And at least Roberts, after the thing was over, went over to Obama and said, I screwed it up. I'm sorry. It's my fault. My bad. I'm an idiot. And Obama said, yeah, we know that. That's why the first opportunity we get, we're going to put something in your tea, like they did to the Pope. Remember they put a little something in the Pope's tea in Godfather 3? Mm-hmm. See? That was all a true story about how they murdered the Pope. But Godfather 3 is so bad. People like you.
So was the Inquisition, and they don't care about that either.
That was bad. That was really bad. Oh, here's I see. Joke. Forget the jokes. Here's one. Neil, I've tried to give Bubba a try in the mornings. He's still bitching about Cheap Channel, which does not make for very interesting listening. And Brandon is correct by saying he's a name dropper. Big time. He sucks Howard's butt every chance he gets. Oh. Speaking of name dropping, Randy mentioned you on her show yesterday, referring to you as the godfather of talk radio. She also attributed you to naming her the goddess. Any truth to that? Yeah, I was forced to say that. However, she didn't bring up the stand on the chair. Must have slipped her mind. I'm in a great frame of mind today. I watched part of the ceremonies yesterday, and it was a real pleasure seeing so many Americans in a good mood for once. Now I know what it feels like being released from prison. Can't wait to see what the new administration is going to do about Blackwater, Halliburton, all the war profiteers, not to mention the impending hearings. Should get very interesting when they start to expose all the wrongdoings by the Bush monsters. Love the show. You sound as good to me today as you always did. Stay warm, John and Lake Worth. Well, thanks, John.
Very
you know
nice.
what? And I sound okay to me, too, when you come right down to it. I sound just like me.
You look like crap.
I feel just like me.
Were you drudge packing?
That lady's all kinds of naked.
You go out to all auditions like this?
No, just this one. Welcome to Hollywood. Yay! Okay, I'm excited. Next time, come naked.
But naked is good.
Hey there, Katrina, you look tight in your bikini. You could turn a homo straight, but girls hate you 'cause you're so pretty. Yes, they do.
I can't allow them to say yes.
They can't accept that you sing smooth, half-naked tunes. Hey there, Katrina, be afraid of Ryan Seacrest. He and Simon have a Woody. Wear a thong and they'll be jizzing, they'll go blind.
Yes.
And since your voice is just as tight, girls will despise. Oh, that's not a bikini. No, it's not, it's too tiny. Oh, your butt is pretty sweet. Oh, Idol has come to be American striptease.
And you're a beautiful girl, but that was a big song.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Yay!
Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, maybe right now, I'll get up and I'll go around the back of the big thing here where the Denons are.
And diddle it?
And just look, give it. How could it be? How could it have changed? There's nobody in here.
Let me let you in on a little bit of secret. Since the beginning of time, since we've started creating machines, going all the way back to the pointed sticks, there's no such thing as a machine that does not wear out and break. It has never occurred.
Well, I shouldn't wear out and break. I just installed these myself with
wear out. They break. They fail. Things go wrong. Things get loose.
Yeah, too loose, la dreck.
Yeah, things happen. As happens.
Well, I've had that happen.
Really?
Oh, more than once.
That's what I heard.
Anyway, 1247 at 560 WQAM. We got the Big O coming along.
Rock solid.
At 2 o'clock. Please, somebody listen to him because, boy, those numbers yesterday were pathetic, tragic. And please, somebody listen to the DA show. Oh, you already tried it? The Dow's up 51 points. Nothing too exciting. They don't seem to be too worried about that white powder at the Wall Street Journal.
No.
There are a bunch of Nazis over there anyway. 207 on the poll when listening to the Neil Rogers Show. Whose opinions and observations do you agree with most often? Neil's 116, George 48. No one's I don't listen to the show or participate in polls, 19 idiots. Board ops, 10. Random emailers, fake celebrities, 9. Like the fake Greg Bedell. Or intelligent callers like, I'm your friend, 5 out of the 209. Now, you're going to get upset about this.
Oh, geez.
Well, it's not about you. It's about technical crap. Listening to QAM on your phone. From Werner Klemperer. Remember him?
Yeah, Hogan's Heroes.
Regarding the question you received about using the iPhone to listen to WQM, there's an app on the iPhone store that includes WQM as one of its preset radio stations. It's called Wonder Radio. What?
Wonder, we talked about it.
It's called Wonder Radio. It has streams from hundreds of radio stations available, including the most popular Miami stations. Did you know Clear Channel has its own app that lets iPhone users listen to all Clear Channel stations on their phones? No, I didn't know and I didn't care. Since satellite radio has been a bust, maybe cell phone radio is the wave of the future. You're riding the wave of the future, Mr. President. Maybe you can lose your ass like everybody else. Was that Ameritrade? Was that that goofball that was doing those spots? Remember back then?
Yep.
During the big tech bubble? Oh, you're riding the wave of the future. That guy was a real goofball.
Mm-hmm.
Paul says Panera Bread is a Starbucks-like pseudo-deli bakery that's overpriced and tastes horrible. Thanks, Paul. A Starbucks-like pseudo-deli bakery. Panera Bread. No, I never heard of it. Did you?
Nope.
Well, we did now. Thanks to Paul. Oh, you think we're going to make it till 2 o'clock today?
Make what till 2 o'clock?
The show.
Yeah, why not? Just play that bit a couple more times.
Well, I can play the other one.
The other what?
Oh, here we go. A whole thing about Sileo. A whole biography. I don't want that. Thanks, Boz. You're usually very good. But why the hell do we want a whole biography of this guy? Oh, he was in Tampa. He did this. Oh, here you go. For a short... See, I was right. For a short time in 2004, his program was syndicated on WINZ 940 in Miami. That was Fox Sports Radio. Remember that lasted about 5 minutes after they blew up Rick and Suds? Remember that?
And I was also just told by nobody that he tried like heavy duty
to get on QAM.
To get on QAM, and might be even still trying.
I see.
Sucking around really hard.
Really?
To get on this radio.
Well, how can he get on QM when he's going to be on IOD in the morning?
Well, there you go. I guess when he failed to get on here.
You mean like when Paulie was trying desperately to get hired to do mornings on QAM and then denied it, lied about it? Mm-hmm. I don't want to say that old Castronova lies, but he lied. Because we had that on Very Good Authority from 2 different people who would never make up stories. And that's years ago. He was trying desperately to get away from them and to get on mornings on QAM. Desperately. And then he denied it. God, is he a dork, that Castronova. I hope that Bubba Love Sponge beats the crap out of him, although I doubt it. Maybe he'll, like, siphon some of the audience away. 2004, he was on 940. That was Fox Sports Radio. That went over like halava in Siberia. Not well. So I was right, my memory. See? I may be reading emails that I read on Friday again and think, oh, this is brand new. Well, you know, we got so many negative emails. Oh, you lost your edge when you did this and when you did that, when you went to Toronto and when you went to Woodbine and when you fell down and broke your hand, you lost your edge. Yeah, screw you. Eat Schmidt. The fake Larry King says, oh, I'm so sick and tired of these. Once and for all, I'd like to know who this person is. Mm-hmm. Because this is somebody who really has no life. Yeah. Or, it's got to be Mr. Radio.
Okay.
Because I don't know anybody, although Mo, of course, it could be Mo. But Mo doesn't know all these people. Mo is from the wrong era in the market, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't know any of the people from the IOD era. Fake Larry King says, I want to give a shout-out of appreciation to Boca Brian, a.k.a. Chicken Neck, sitting on a bench in Delray. It's the talent, and Man, You Look Retarded go down as some of the best parody songs of all time. First of all, it's not called Man, You Look Retarded. It's called Retarded Green Onions, but nevertheless.
Right.
His Mo and Geldy bits are the best. Are you still paying Boca out of pocket? I have one-word answer for that, okay? Nunya. As in Nunya effing business, okay? Are you? These people are writing a book, I'm sure of it. I can't wait for the book to come out so I can read all their fantasies. You're still doing this? You're still doing that? Did you hang out with Alan Burke? Did you? Oh, my God. You know what these people are besides having no life? Overgrown children.
Yeah.
Panera Bread is like a bad restaurante cubano, says somebody. A bad restaurante cubano. Now, what about that place, it's in the airport, too, called La Carreta? They're all over town?
We've discussed that before. That's a bad restaurante cubano.
Is it really?
Oh, it's mediocre. Bad? It's just very...
La Carreta. Aren't you impressed by the way I said
chain,
that?
Very, very impressive. They're a chain and they're mediocre at best. Sorry,
and
guys. Las Vegas is the good one. Las Vegas, which started out small, but they're a chain also now. But they're great.
Cuban
phenomenal
food?
In the pocket, yes.
No mushy beans, right? No frijoles?
Not if you don't want them, man.
No me gusta
you're
frijoles.
Obsessed with beans.
I told that to Papa the other day.
You know, every culture has beans in them, man. You're obsessed with attaching.
Chinese eat beans?
I guess. Why not?
No, they
every
don't.
culture has beans.
No, they don't. Riso.
Beans are everywhere in the
baby.
world. Right.
Chinese eat rice, not beans.
They have beans.
The Italians eat beans?
Yes.
I guess the Italians eat
what's in a pasta
huh?
Everybody has beans in their culture.
Fava beans with Chianti is always nice.
Yeah.
Eddie says, I just wanted to vent and say we're finally rid of that bumbling idiot. I've been a big supporter of Obama. Hope he lives up to most of the expectations we have for him. We should all realize there's no way he'll please us all the time. However, there are so many serious issues we need to be addressed that have been swept under the rug, not just by the past administration, but for generations. In other words, they're a bunch of crooks, Eddie. They're a bunch of crooks. Rape the public. That's the game that they play. The oil companies, all the other big corporations. Rape the public, and the politicians got their hand in the cookie jar, too. Like Rod Blagojevich, who put the oi. He put the goy in Blagojevich. We as a people need to stay on top of our elected officials. I don't want to stay on top of any of them. And demand that there be intellectual discussions and not just the partisan politics that have put us where we are today. Intellectual discussions like when George is on doing the show.
Yeah.
I don't believe all our problems will be solved by Obama. Well, thank God for that. But I do, you said thank God? Yeah, I was talking about thank
God.
But I hope he begins to clean up the mess of the past 8 years. A loyal listener since '88, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. Eddie says it's a new beginning, right. It was a pretty amazing day yesterday, and then, of course, Teddy screwed it all up by eating that duck. I've never had duck, and I have no desire to have it because everybody tells me it's real gamey tasting and real ultra greasy. And you have to cook it like medium rare because otherwise it gets real rubbery.
I didn't hear that part. But
that's what I was told.
It's a dark meat all the way through. So,
I don't like dark meat.
And it is greasy.
Ugh. I like the white chicken breast on the chicken.
That's what I heard.
Thanks for reading my email, says Rudy. Panera's Bread is a great place. They offer free Wi-Fi, plus they also donate all their leftover pastries and bread to local charities that can collect it. It's great for the people who receive it every Saturday at my local charity. Whatever that means. Do you understand what that means?
Nope.
I don't either. In other words, if you get it, if you're starving to death and you get it at the Camilla's house, maybe it's okay. Boy, talk about a long email from Jim in England. Oh, my God, Jim. Even the British have no life. I wonder how the Queen is doing. I hear the Queen had a magnificent bowel movement this morning, a royal bowel movement.
Hello, this is Delores, and you know, Mama be listening to her angel Neil Rogers on 1-2 hour.
I shaved my balls for my girl Holly. La 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 la. So she'll lick 'em like a lolly. La 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 la. Maybe next time I'll just wax 'em. La 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 la. As they grow back, I'll have to scratch 'em. La 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 la.
1 o'clock at 560 WQAM. Oh, it's so cold, Neil. It's so cold down here. Well, too bad.
Yeah, right.
Whatever temperature you got, I'll trade you for it. How's that?
So cold, we almost had to open the windows.
Yeah. Brandon says, La Carreta blows big time. Well,
Yeah.
Las Vegas is great, especially the one in Hollywood, which I've been going to since I was born.
Likewise.
Chipotle is a good place for some huge, good burritos.
Never heard of
Everybody
it.
likes a big, huge burrito, and some people even like a big, huge chalupa.
Sure.
Chipotle. You know that place?
Never heard of it.
No, well, there you go.
I'll check it out. Because so far he's right on. I mean, I was trying to be nice.
Well, why you got to be nice?
About La Carreta.
They're not spending any money on this station. Are you kidding me? La Carreta is going to buy us time on this station?
Highly overrated.
La Carreta?
Si.
I do know where the one is in the airport, though. I've seen it. in Miami Airport. Well, they sure could use some better food joints in the Fort Lauderdale. Well, in Terminal 2 is where I go now, Air Canada. And Terminal 4 has got they got one food place, and everybody lines up like 600 deep. What a stupid bunch of asses they are at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. Bunch of stupid asses running that place. God. And they've got at Terminal 4, talk about not ready for prime time, they got 700 different flights out of the same terminal. It's about the size of a shoebox. Don't you hate that?
Yep.
And I'll tell you what else I hate. And even in Terminal 2 in Fort Lauderdale, there aren't enough seats. There aren't enough seats. They got a flight that seats like 300 people, and they got like 60 seats. And then they got a whole bunch of seats that are like a half a mile away, you know. But nevertheless, I still think the idea is to, if they had good places where you could get fast food in airports, and then carry it on a plane.
What a great idea.
And say, no thanks for that crap food you're going to give me, even in business class or first class. Take your crap food and shove it. God. I mean, once upon a time, way back in the day, I used to get really great food in Alitalia in business class. And then, of course, they damn near went under and they became something else. And last time I flew them, was it last year? I think I flew Alitalia. I'm not really sure. I don't know. But it was crapola. Very mediocre. You know, either be an airline and fly people from one place to another, or be a restaurant. It's very hard to do both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They could just have a vending machine there at the end of the aisle. If you want to
And in fact, there are times on Scare Canada when I'm tempted, you know, in Schlepper class and in coach, they have a menu in the back of the airline booklet, you know, that they have in front, the seat in front of you, in the magazine. And in the back of the magazine, they got a bunch of, like, sub sandwiches and different things you can purchase for an extra $2 or $3, $4, whatever. And I'm almost, I'm tempted. I guess I'd feel foolish, but I'm tempted to say, hey, I'll pass on your meal, whatever you're serving us, that's included in the $8 million fare, and I'll get me a sub sandwich. Even Subway's starting to look pretty good compared to the swill that they serve on those flights. You want the chicken or the salmon or the trouser trout, or you want the, oh, my God. And the tilapia. Well, what is with tilapia?
I don't know.
It's just another fish, ain't it?
Yeah, but not all fish are created equal. I don't know what
I know that, but my whole life I went with never heard of tilapia, and then all of a sudden the last few years, everybody's screaming, and there's even a movie about tilapia.
You ever hear about John Dory?
Jim Dory played for the Leafs. Boy, he was one hot-looking guy. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. That guy will get upset again.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who doesn't listen because the show isn't for him, but he tolerates fags. That guy, Eddie. Jim says, John Roberts and how useful the stories on your website turn out to be. Yeah, too bad more people don't read them. I would say the average story that we put on our website, which I'm assuming Cordis is still doing it, I'm assuming, we get about 200 reads. Now, that's not very impressive, is it?
No, not really.
Like today, it's time to stop being afraid of the notorious GOP. 99 people have read that so far. Yesterday, George W. Bush, we will never forget, that's got 278. The day before, Bush's only gift to America, that's got 205. The day before, Bush supported U.S. attorneys and refused to leave Justice Department, 201. Was King James gay, 178. That was the day before. Palin, the press and her pregnancy, 228. That was on January 16. I mean, if you go back a while, over a period of time, they build up, and there's some that get like, a few hundred. If you go way back. I mean, once upon a time, here's one. November 11th. But that's right after the election, 309, 304. See, if you go by, it accumulates. But do you think it's really worth putting those bedtime stories on there?
I can't answer, I mean, it's a labor of love, obviously.
A labor of love by whom?
To you.
By meme?
See, it's one of those things. It's
not
like nutritious. It's like trying to get your kid to eat nutritious food, as opposed to junk food or crap. They're not going to eat
the those naked pictures of chicks we used to put on.
They're not going to eat the nutritious food. So what's
Mary
the point
says La Carreta sucks. What Cuban restaurant in Miami is good?
Las Vegas. In Miami, I don't know. Las Vegas are all up in Broward, as far as I know.
Oh. Well, let's find out from somebody a good Cuban restaurant in Miami. And it's obviously not La Carreta, because Mary and everybody, and Brandon, everybody said it sucks.
Brandon is spot on, by the way, about that location.
Spot on, Brandon. Brandon knows his crap. Which he said, Bubba the Love Sponge, that show is crap, too, is what he said. Rich the Atheist in Orlando says Panera Bread is a quick casual restaurant that's been very successful. The largest operator in Florida was a 40-something store McDonald's operator in Ohio. It focuses on breads and other starches, which would kill a diabetic. No thanks. It's one of the chains that we pour goyim mystery shop. The quality is not as good as Five Guys, but pretty darn good. Now, wait a minute. I thought Five Guys was a burger joint.
Yeah.
So what does that got to do with a bread joint?
I don't know.
Also, I heard your Mike Ranieri drop a while back. Didn't his voice vaguely resemble that of Johnny Most, the ultimate homer for the Boston Celtics? We was robbed! No, it did not. He didn't sound anything at all like Johnny Most. Says Rich the Atheist in Orlando, who's otherwise a good guy, but he don't know his Johnny Most. We was robbed. Havlicek stole the ball. He had a raspy, high-pitched voice. Nothing at all like Mike Ranieri. You want to play that drop again? I'm getting a little tired of that crap.
I'm getting a little tired of that crap, I can tell you right now.
Doesn't that sound just like Johnny Most?
No.
Not. No. Oh, Wade Belak. Nice going by the Panthers. Panthers having a good season, by the way. They got a shot at the playoffs. But they picked up Wade Belak, a real stiff. I could have told him about that. And Chad Kilger, who never played a single game there. But nevertheless. What do I know? We love the Panthers. They're doing good. They're having a good season. Nobody cares. That's the sad part. I guess there were about 11,000 people there for the Sabres game the other night, and about 3,000 of them were Sabres fans. That's not good. 240 votes on the poll. They like my opinion, and you're somewhat too. Of course, you're the intellectual guy.
Right, yeah.
Here's one about Las Vegas. Ray says Las Vegas has several South Florida restaurants, including 2 in Pembroke Pines. For some reason, the one in East Pines, Palm and Pines, leaves something to be desired, but the one in West Pines is excellent. I'm eating picadillo from there right now, says Ray. How do you like that?
Picadillo.
Picadillo?
Si.
Picadillo.
Yeah.
Picarillo. Picadillo? What is picadillo?
Ground beef. But I mean, they put stuff in it like, diced onions and things like that. It's good.
That sounds like it's right up my alley, Sally.
Mm-hmm.
Ground beef with onions and maybe shrooms, too, would be good. Sounds better than those crappy Mexican meals I had, was force-fed. Oh.
Sorry about that. You got me curious now about real Mexican food.
Well, just because that family happens to be lousy cooks doesn't mean Mexican food's all bad.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I would like a second opinion.
I mean, I was already told by Paco that Mamacita couldn't cook her way out of a paper sack.
That sounds like my mom.
Now, my mom in her earlier days, the first 400 years of her life, she was a pretty good cook. She could cook up like stuffed cabbage and meatloaf and, really good stuff. And pinwheel cookies. Did your mom ever make pinwheel cookies?
My mom never made anything that you could choke down. Dogs turn their nose up at anything my mother
Really?
did.
But you know what pinwheel cookies are, though.
You're asking my mom baked something. What a ridiculous notion.
And also Toll House cookies, she used to call them, which don't we call those chocolate chip cookies? But she called them Toll House cookies.
Yeah, I don't know what the distinction is, but yes.
Well, there must be a distinction. Anyway, this Jim says, I was on Google trying to remind myself of John Roberts' involvement in the 2000 stolen election. One of the top links that came up with this article in the news archives on neilrogers.com by Mark Caputo. Supreme Court nominee John Roberts had a larger 2000 recount role than previously reported, and it goes on about how they recruited him to come in and help them fix the election. Ted Cruz, domestic policy advisor for President Bush and who is now Texas Solicitor General, said Roberts was one of the first names he thought of while he and another attorney drafted the Republican legal dream team of litigation lions and 800-pound gorillas, which ultimately consisted of 400 attorneys in Florida who came down and knocked on the doors, let us in, and helped fix the 2000 election and are responsible. They ought to be on death row for the 4,200 dead American soldiers and the hundreds of thousands of dead Iraqis and all the other dead people as well who died in that fake war, fake Iraq attack. So I bet you we're going to get elected lots of them. I hope. Maybe we won't. Oh, here's what about tilapia. There was a segment on Discovery's Dirty Jobs that made me swear off tilapia. Fish farms that raise trout use tilapia to consume the poop that the trout produce. Then they sell the tilapia for human consumption. Of course, if we knew how all food was produced, the only thing we want to chew on was the end of a gun barrel.
Cute.
Says Nick. Thanks, Nick. Good point. Nick's got a point. Neil, the best airline and best food by far is Schweiz. They fly to Miami, but probably not Toronto. Also, the new terminal in Miami that Air Canada flies from is magnificent. I'll stick with Fort Lauderdale, thank you. Oh, Jimmy Dworsky is back with tell the food snobs that Chipotle is owned by McDonald's. So what's wrong with that?
Nothing so far.
I guess Jimmy hasn't had that new anus burger with bacon and cheddar. I had one a couple days ago. It's damn good. I likes it. I like it a lot. The fake Larry King is back. Mike Ranieri was a good guy, but he sounded like a yahoo. I loved when he had Roger pull the plug. What does that mean?
I don't know. Doesn't sound
when
nice.
When Roger pulled a plug on what? His pacemaker? He didn't have one. Fat Rich had a pacemaker, and guess what?
He died?
That's correct.
Neil Rogers.
God.
My fellow Americans, this is your outgoing president. I know many of you saw the footage of me dodging shoes thrown at me in Iraq, and some of you were worried about my safety. By some of you, I mean my family, except for Jeb. He's always been jealous of me. Well, I want you to know that wasn't really an attack. It was a promotional stunt for my new job. That's right, America. After I leave office, I, George W. Bush, will be the new assistant manager at Foot Locker down at the mall, where right now Nikes are 10% off just in time for Christmas. God bless America, and God bless the footwear industry. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, and God bless the fact that he's gone. He got in that chopper, and away they went, including Mama Bush and Papa Bush. And Miguel says Las Culabrinas in Coconut Grove is an excellent Cuban restaurant.
Never heard of it. Of course.
Las Culabrinas.
I don't get to the Grove as much as I used to.
Why not?
And by that
is
I
it
mean
because it's
never.
in Dade County?
That might be.
Oh. See, I get all kinds of crap because I don't go to Dade County when I'm in town.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad. I don't want to. I used to live in Dade County. I lived in Hialeah Gardens. No, is it Miami? Whatever the hell it was. I don't know. And I lived in Kendall for a long time. Long time up and down 107th Ave. From like Kendall Drive to Sunset Air, just about every complex in between. And then I said to myself, I don't think this is for me anymore, and I moved to Broward and never looked back. We used to do some appearances in Dade County. Remember those days?
Yep.
Like in, where did we go? Like Peaches?
Sure.
Specs? Places like that are long out of business? Cutler Ridge. Remember Cutler Ridge?
Oh, yeah. That mall.
But that's a long time ago. You know, we got changing demographics. No se habla inglés aquí. Okay?
Hola.
So, and of course, in your case, what's your excuse?
I don't like it. I don't want to.
You don't like what, Dade County?
Correct. As a rule, I mean, there are places in there, but I mean, one reason, only one reason. I need no more reasons. The traffic. I hate driving south of the border. The traffic, the freaking traffic in this county.
And the traffic in Broward is a picnic. You ought to drive here one. You ought to drive here one day for about half an hour.
Sure,
you would kiss the ground. You would get out of your car down there and you'd kiss the ground. By the way, speaking of car, how's your new car coming?
Huh? I got people
how's that new car coming that Jolly Joe Bell's getting for you? What?
I'm holding my breath. There are people talking to people. But
people talking to people.
Go ahead, laugh.
What kind of crap is that? You're going to sit back and accept that?
Oh,
you ought to go up to that Eisenberg and kick him in where his nuts should be and to say, hey, listen, how's the car coming, goofball? Bob Eisenberg. Boy, if that's your best hope, all I can say to you is good luck.
Well.
Good luck, sir.
Thanks.
Jimmy D is back again about Panera Bread. No one said the food wasn't good, but there's a moronic segment of the population that thinks their food is somehow better for you than burgers and fries. Also, free Wi-Fi is never a real bonus for any kind of food establishment. It just gives poser D-bags an excuse to bring their laptops somewhere public so they can try and look cool. If you go out to eat, leave your video games and donkey on child porn at home. Are you working on some kind of dissertation for graduate school? Are you writing another bestseller? No, you're just living a fantasy in a fantasy land where the cute girl at the table across from you thinks you're a cool guy and hasn't noticed your laptop battery died 20 minutes ago while you eat a panini that has more calories than a double Whopper with extra cheese and mayo. Get a life and check your spam email at home. Sorry, Neil, I'm a little worked up today. P.S. Tell the food snobs that Chipotle is owned by McDonald's. It's owned by McDonald's. I don't see anything wrong with that, though.
No.
Well, what he's saying is that snobs think that a place with a fancier name is like, is like that.
I see.
It's what's required of you at this moment. It's a mark of your commitment to public service. But the American people deserve more than simply an assurance that those who are coming to Washington will serve their interests. They also deserve to know that there are rules on the books to keep it that way. They deserve a government that is truly of, by, and for the people.
While we're waiting for that, let's invent one. Dow is up 77 points, NASDAQ's up 17. The S&P is up, Neil. It's up 9 points. Wonder what happened to that guy. I hope he lost his ass. Remember that? The S&P is up guy? Boy, too bad we aren't going to take any calls today.
Why not?
Because I don't wanna. Or do you mean, why not? It's too bad. Because they're going to suck and it's going to be the same misfits. I'll wait a couple of years. We got 5 years to go. I'll wait a couple of years and maybe somebody will, off them. Maybe somebody will find them and dispose of them. And we can go back to, the Neil Rogers show. I doubt that's ever going to happen, though. Oh, it's you, Neil. You went to Toronto and that's when you started your decline. And blah, blah. Yeah, right. Blow it out your ass. All these mavens, all these radio experts. What time is their show on, by the way? All these people have got such great concept of what...
Can't wait to hear.
Oh, the Canadian Looney, 79.02. It's on the verge of going under 79 cents. That would be great. Go down to about 40 cents would be good. That would be great. Then I'd feel like wealthy again. 248 votes on your poll. We can get to 300 maybe. I don't know. You care?
No.
I know. Sinful. That's why they're not getting you that car. You don't care.
That's it.
If you cared enough. Richard Orlando says, okay, Johnny Moe sounds like Mike Ranieri with a 3-pack-a-day habit. Ranieri used to chain smoke, too, didn't he?
Yes.
And drink a lot. And then he died. His death was just shocking to me. I mean, I don't know about you, but when you don't even know that somebody is really sick.
Right.
And then all of a sudden one day says, oh, by the way, Ranieri croaked. I mean, Jesus, God.
Right.
But... And then they had just signed him to a new contract, and they canned his ass at IOD, and then they had to pay him for a year for not working. I love when that happens, like with Paxson and me. It was great. Don't you love getting paid not to work? You never had that luxury, did you?
No, I haven't.
I see. Well, we're starting to get a little bit of input now on Cuban food, including Brandon, who's just, wow. That's good. Kill some good time. We got 38 minutes to go. Not that I'm counting. I'll tell you, this show today seems like about 20 hours to me.
Really?
Well, you remember this morning, I don't want to go into it on the air, but I had like a little traumatic episode this morning when I went downstairs.
Uh-huh.
And ever since then, those kind of things, I'm just the kind of person, I'm like, drama queen, Mama Negra, like I told you yesterday.
Is that what that means?
You what?
Is that what that means?
Yes. Drama queen.
That's not what it means literally, obviously.
Well, I know what it means literally. Jesus, give me a little bit of credit for crying out loud. Right. What's wrong with old Black Mama?
Here you go. Nothing.
Is there something wrong with Black Mama?
Not that I know of.
If it's good enough for your urethra.
I suppose.
I still can't believe the way she sang that thing yesterday. That was... Rich in Orlando comes back and wants to debate this thing about Johnny Most. He says, okay, Johnny Most sounds like Ranieri with a 3-day-a-pack habit. The difference is 1 octave and some gravel. First of all, he doesn't sound like anything. Well, they're both dead, so I guess they both sound the same now, silent. Chipotle is not owned by McDonald's, but was spun off by McDonald's. Its stock was a kick-ass wonder until the market crashed. Again, the carbs would kill a diabetic. Try the soup at Panera, especially the chicken and wild rice. You'll be in hog heaven. I never heard of it. I don't know where it is, and it sure as hell isn't here. We have quite a few Mexican restaurants here. No Cuban restaurants that I know of, though.
No.
I wonder why that is.
No Cubans?
That could be it. Chuck in Chicago says Chipotle is great if you're a pig who wants to stuff your face with a pile of rice and crap. The meat is marginal at best. You want a burrito? The tortilla alone has 44 carbs. The rice they threw in has another 2 carbs. Maybe there's more than 2. Maybe it's chopped off there in the right-hand margin. Panera's a bakery. They sell sandwiches, salads, and soups. The soups are pretty good. Now, let me ask you, do you say soups or do you say soup?
Soup?
Is it a collective noun?
Well, like, if it's different kinds of soup, then you have to say soups. Same thing with fishes and deers.
How about cheeses?
That, too.
Jesus Christ.
Almighty.
Chuck says, I fly American Airlines a lot. Yeah, American. They're not too bad out of Chicago. In all honesty, the only times I really have problems with them is when I have to go through Miami. I fly them a good bunch and frequently are in first class. I have many times passed on the meal they offered, requested the cheese and salami snack you could buy in Coach. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get that magazine out when I sit my ass down next time on Scare Canada and come down there, and I'm going to order some snack food from the back. Snack from the back.
All right.
And pay for it. I mean, if you can afford to pay $80 zillion to fly a round trip to Fort Lauderdale, you can afford to pay $4 or $5, $6 for like something you want to eat, as opposed to do you want the steak, the chicken, or the tilapia, or the round snails that are still moving around in the plate? Oh God. What mung. Award-winning chef Francisco de Pupu is creating the food for Scare Canada this year, and yeah, I say throw him out. Open the door and throw him out. Brandon says there's a Chipotle on. Now, is it Chipotle or Chipotle? I don't know how you say it.
Chipotle.
Well, he's spelling it wrong. There's a Chipotle on Pines and Hiatus in the new Home Depot shopping center. And here's something George might like. They give free food away a lot.
Wow.
For Halloween, you get free burritos. Just have a piece of foil wrapped around your wrist.
Woo.
Basically, what it is, you go and it has 3 menus. The first is your meat, second is your rice, and third is a topping. And you pick one from each, and that's how you build your burrito. Careful, though, because some of their stuff is real spicy. Oh, yeah. The Latinos like it spicy, and the food, too. Latin American Grill in Pembroke Pines sometimes has really good Cuban food. Have to catch them on a good day. But Las Vegas certainly is the tops, and there are a few locations in Dade. When I can't make it to the one in Hollywood, I'll settle for any of the 2 locations in the Pines, but there's something about the original one in Hollywood way above anything. Now, the parking situation there is a little bit crappy, but it's a small price to pay for Las Vegas. Maybe Bob Lincoln stands outside and sings, Viva Las Vegas. I hope not.
Anybody have a heart or a liver?
I'm an angry Cuban man with a lot to say in a Spanish dialect that no one can translate. I call in radio talk shows to change the world my way, but I say it in Cuban. Baby talk's what I'm using. I sit in traffic all day on the Palmetto Expressway. The cars not go, so I use my cell phone to call my favorite talk shows, and I say, hola, I'm a 40-year-old man. You may find that hard to believe. My broken English is so bad, I sound like a baby. But just the same, I make demands that you agree with me and understand my Cuban baby talk. I'm using broken Cuban.
I haven't played that in 100 years, you know what?
Long time, right?
Too long. That's a great bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that convinces me that we have no Cuban listeners on this show, maybe 1 or 2, is the fact that, you know, somebody asks, where can you get really good Cuban food in Dade County? And we get, like, nothing.
Oh, as opposed to when you ask another question and you get something?
No.
So you say that, I know you're doing it to be facetious. Because,
no, I'm not.
Every time we have an appearance and every time we go somewhere, you get all these people saying, I'm Cuban, I'm a listener, I'm a Cuban listener. They say that continuously.
Oh, they listen to you.
You refuse to acknowledge it because of your hatred, your seething bigotry.
What?
You refuse to acknowledge that a huge chunk of the audience is Cuban. You take these polls, you see it on the polls all the time, but you just want to, rip and rip, so go ahead. A huge percentage of the audience.
What the hell are you talking about?
A huge percentage of the audience is Cuban. Everyone who
let's check out the diaries, okay?
All right.
When you see Clarence next time, have him do the ethnic breakdown.
I'm not talking about the over 50, 60-year-old crowd. You know, you like the chicken pick.
What?
Oh, cherry pick. I'm sorry.
Jim from Chicago, or Trevor, whatever his name is, Trevor says, I'm from Chicago where they have the best steak burritos in the world, and I miss them. Does anybody out there know where you can get a good steak burrito in South Florida? Thanks, great show. Jones is for a burrito, Trevor. Well, there's the question. Anybody know where you can get a good steak burrito in South Florida? Trevor wants to know. What?
A steak burrito sounds good.
It does sound good. With, like, onions and stuff. And, like, squeezed cheese. I still miss that Taco Viva. In fact, on Sunset, is it on Sunset in Kendall? Yes.
Yes.
There's a strip shopping mall where there used to be Godfathers. I think it was the first Godfathers in town.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also on the other side of the little strip shopping mall, across from it, was Taco Viva.
Okay.
Where they had the great tacos with the great, real good meat and squeezed cheese.
I barely remember them. How many years since they've been in business?
100.
Wow.
It was damn good. And, yeah, it was better than Taco Smell.
It was. I remember that much.
So was Wubbs, man. Wubbs was a great fast food joint, a great burger joint with the best onion rings I've ever seen in my life. I'll tell you who's got really great onion rings is Ruth Chris.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Well, next time somebody takes you there for a great meal.
That's right.
Well, I mean, you can't afford to go there.
I can't afford anything.
Well, Miguel says if you've eaten Thai food in Toronto, which I have not, have you had the green mango salad? They don't have it in any Thai restaurant in South Florida. If you haven't had it, give it a try. No, I don't like mango.
I like mango.
And I hate guacamole. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I ain't crazy about Thai food.
You're not?
They put coconut and peanuts in like almost everything. There are very few Thai dishes I can handle.
Dorothy M. just buzzed me here. I'm like, be healthy using authentic drugs from licensed pharmacy. Go to hell, Dorothy. Quit buzzing my crackberry. I'm so sick and tired of these damn... There needs to be a law, okay? I thought there was a law. But they got to stop spamming us with this crap. You don't think so?
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of it?
Lots.
Cialis and Viagra. Boy, you talk about barking up the wrong tree. Dan says, just had a six-pack of Castle Burger, saw Wayne as I was leaving, as good as it gets. Wayne Arnold's is open again, 125th and Northwest 7th Ave, 441. Wayne is open after a long time down after that fire. 261 votes on the poll. 150 agree with me, 65 agree with you. And everybody else says we're both full of crap. Lisette says, I'm a Cuban-American girl born and raised in Miami, now living in Palm Beach. My favorite Cuban restaurant is Casa Romo off 67th Avenue. It has great food at an affordable price.
Whoa,
love the show. Keep up the great
lady?
work. What?
67th and what?
Well, I don't know. It's just off
her.
of 67th Avenue. Maybe the Palmetto. What?
Maybe.
And maybe not. Come on, let's say we want more detail.
Yeah, exactly.
Casa Romea.
I guess I could Google it,
Casa Romu.
Although I don't get into that.
Jimmy D says, Baja Cafe for the steak burrito. End of discussion. Ooh. He doesn't tell us where it is, though. Baja Cafe. He says.
Okay.
Caesar says, I was just ordering a Neely burger and other food when Mr. Arnold pulls up. We talked for a few minutes about him rebuilding the restaurant. How he's listened since Zeta, like me. He was a pleasure to talk to. By the way, I work with A Fan, your local critic. I think he misses you since he got banned. Anyway, have a great day. And the food was excellent. He works with A Fan. Remember that idiot?
Yeah.
Called in that day, just about had a stroke. He pulled a Ted Kennedy right on the air. He had a seizure on the air. You don't let anybody talk with his... And he just lost it on the phone. So you people that continue writing caustic, I'm not interested. I mean, you don't have to kiss my ass. That's not a prerequisite for calling or sending an email. But my God, if you just want to send a bunch of caustic crap, I'm not interested. Everybody's life is full of enough caustic crap without getting it from strangers. God. Brandon says, Baja Fresh Express has got great steak burritos. There's one in Fort Lauderdale on US 1 right off of Broward Boulevard.
Great.
See, at least Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. Right, he gives us a location.
No, that was you. I heard that.
That was me. Sorry.
Maybe that's Mary Johnson with some pills for your Johnson.
Okay.
Here's a poll suggestion from Brandon. When it comes to food, I'd rather do more quantity over quality, more quality over quantity. I'm 50-50. It's all food. Who cares? Yeah, well, keep that in my pile for a while. Oh, Jimmy D. Give it a rest, Jimmy D. I know you're all worked up today, but give it a rest. God. So what did we find out? Is there a good place for chalupas?
Baja. For the steak burritos.
Yeah, that does sound good. Taco Viva. And all these people who keep criticizing those of us old farts like me, and probably you to some extent, about how there used to be all these great places and there aren't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's true.
Right, they'll see.
I mean, you can go to the Hess gas station and, that's that make-believe Godfather stuff, but it ain't nothing like the original Godfathers. That one with Javier. Wasn't that something that was like almost 30 years ago?
About 30, man.
I'm thinking 1980 at W Snooze. That he came into the station and they bought spots and I helped to put them on the map and yada yada. Back in those days, I used to put a lot of people on the map. The Boca Burgers and Ben & Jerry's and all kinds of stuff. Schnapple. But then I came to QAM where, you don't do a sports show. We can't be bothered with that Rogers. He's just a troublemaker. And that little spick sidekick of his.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry I said that word again. I got that one guy all bent out of shape. Yeah. He'll be sending another, Edward Everhorton. He'll be sending another email. Oh, I heard you use that word. Yeah, well, screw you. It's okay if I say faggot, but if I use some other word, and again, whatever happened to something called sense of humor, which obviously that guy doesn't have? See, people that want to be offended, they pretend they have no sense of humor. They know you're saying something as a joke. They know there's not a chance in a million you would say it seriously. But, I heard him say this. Yeah, screw you. Screw off, Eddie.
David's a bitch.
Yes. It's been brought to my attention that your ratings are dying, and how? Well, I want to show you what a big asset I was to you, and how. You thought you could find somebody good enough to fill my baggy pants? It ain't easy. There ain't no chance I'll ever be coming back. Outside of considering a lucrative contract. If you want to know what'll save you from shutting that transmitter down, why, that's easy. Sure.
All you need is more. All you need is more. All you need is a show.
A measly-old time slot only got you to thank, Flop. Despite that, my ratings have bottomed out in the tank. Which radio has the revolving door for the gayest of all whores and squeaky shack?
All you need is more.
Now see here.
All you need is more.
And little here.
All you need is a show. Let's go blow.
Over here, you little mutton. You bite away something.
Yes?
Jack told me to give you this.
What?
You see? What are you going to do, fire me, huh?
Oh, here's somebody that says Taco Vivo is the Schmitz. You're right. In fact, it would give you the Schmitz, too. It says the El Scorcho sauce was great. Chipotle can't hold a candle to the place called Lime Fresh Mexican Grill. You ever hear of it?
No.
2 locations, North Miami Beach and Pembroke Gardens Mall. The steak burritos and the fajitas blow away Chipotle. Listening since 87, Rob in South Miami. Thanks, Rob. How do you like that? And Brandon is back again. You get food going and Brandon just all over the place. What I would like to see more of in South Florida is barbecue food, he says. Oh, that's why they built the Metro Rail so everybody can go to, what's the name of that place?
Shorty's.
Shorty's Ribs. Shorty's Barbecue. Personally, I don't like barbecue. How do you like that?
Okay.
If I never had it again, it would be too soon.
Well, I like it. I'll have your portion.
There are a couple of places where the food is all right, but nothing that makes you weak in the knees. I want a good place to have some nice pulled pork or barbecue brisket and, of course, ribs. Hard to find here.
I got to go to North Carolina to get some good pulled pork.
Pulled pork, huh?
Yeah, Smoky
Mountain
Barbecue.
lines about that, but I won't say them.
It's heavenly.
And believe me, I'm sure Brandon knows about that. Lisette emails back. Boy, it must be a banner day today. People are actually responding to what we were talking about.
Write it down.
Lisette says, tell George Casa Romo, rhymes with homo, is located at 67th Avenue, Miami Gardens Drive.
Oh.
Thanks, Lisette.
Thank you.
And that's right where I was thinking.
That's not that far, actually.
Isn't that off the Palmetto?
Well.
Now, wait a minute. 67th Avenue is what? Is that Ludlam Road?
Yes, it is. Very good.
Well, very good, because I worked there for 100 years at W Snooze.
Right. It both crosses and runs parallel to the Palmetto, so.
Right. Boy, there used to be some good restaurants in that neck of the woods. What was the great Chinese restaurant?
Way north of there. I don't know.
That was on
Canton?
Dixie Highway and Ludlam Road? Canton, was that it?
They have several locations.
And there was a, not Tony Roman's, what was the other? Bobby Rubino's there, I think?
Mm-hmm.
And a great Chinese joint in there, which I can't remember. I just got through saying Canton. I just said it. See, you're losing it, old man. That's right. And I really don't care.
Good.
I get home every day. I find my way home from Woodbine. I drive just fine. I walk around. I get from the bathroom to this studio. I don't have no walker yet.
Tennis balls on the ends.
That's what made me feel so good watching old man Bush and Cheney there in a wheelchair. Oh, he hurt his back moving. Yeah, hurt his back. The Lord is smiting his ass for all the people that he and Bush and Cheney, whatever their name is, butchered. See? You're losing it.
Oh, well.
I just want to give these people an opportunity to send their hateful email. Oh, you keep repeating yourself, and you read that one email about Toronto. Okay, good. Who cares?
Let's go to where they work. Let's follow them around all day. Let's nitpick over
wait a
their
minute.
job.
Wait a minute. Well, here, I'm glad you said it. You must be psychic.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same emailer that sent the caustic crap before about how I read the, since I moved to Toronto, that's when the show lost its head. This is the same jackass. I guess they think that if they use a phone number, I won't realize what the phone number is. I won't recognize it. Reason that you talk about how there used to be all these great restaurants and there aren't any longer is because you haven't tried anything new in 10 years, except maybe for Cheesecake Lux, of course. So here's a guy that follows me around all day. He knows all the places where I eat, the restaurants and the food and yada, full of crap. In addition to which, I bet you this guy hasn't had the anus burger with bacon and cheddar because he can't get it there. Haven't tried anything new in 10 years. Oh, my God. The food that I've consumed to maintain this girth, you got to be schmitting me, man. Yeah.
Really?
Got to try new things. 279 votes on the poll. We're not going to make 300. What a shame. Fat Chris would be disappointed, but you know what? Too bad. He doesn't care about us. All that time that he was on this show for like how long? 2 years?
Okay.
Brandon's back again. Calm down, Brandon, but thanks for all the good stuff. I can't believe nobody mentioned Versailles in Little Havana. It doesn't get any more Cuban than that. You ever hear of Versailles?
I've been there with all due respect. It's a
Don't
state
like
of
it?
mind. It's the Joe's Stone Crabs of Cuban food.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Very
a Cuban
famous,
Joe Stone
highly
crab.
famous. I was very underwhelmed. It's no Las Vegas. How's that?
So Las Vegas is the place to go.
That's the place. I'll take you there.
You'll
By the
take me
hand,
there?
Gently, and I'll tell you what to order.
I could go
make
to
sure-
La Carreta if I wanted to go there in the Miami airport.
Skip it.
No. Some airports have really good restaurants in them,
Mm-hmm.
but not Miami or Fort Lauderdale, I don't think. Every now and then you'll find a restaurant, an airport with, like Pearson Airport in Toronto, crappy food inside. Oh my God, crapo. Here's an article by Chuck Strauss. It would be nice if I could see where this was from. Somebody sent this to me, Mama B, who sends me a lot of good stuff. Is this from the Herald? Is this from something? Royal Castle returns. A Miami landmark makes a comeback. It says, the tiny hamburger smothered with onions you dreamed about after, a little glowing preparation, the one you could buy anywhere in Dade County from the 1950s till 77. Arnold's Royal Castle. The tiny restaurant on the corner of Northwest 7th Avenue and 124th Street, North Miami, quietly opened January 1 for the first time since a fire gutted the place 3.5 years ago. 3.5 years. Wow. There were 904 customers on opening day. It's doing more business than ever before, said owner Wayne Arnold. Unbelievable, is what he said.
Unbelievable.
Arnold, now 70 years old and living in Davie, went to work for Royal Castle back in 1961 when the burger that cost 99 cents went for 15 pennies. The company moved him around the South till Burger Chef bought it in 73 and then declared bankruptcy 4 years later. He was fired. Arnold bought the North Miami place in 1980, reopened it in 82. For the next 23 years, it was open 24/7. It burned in late 2005 after a storage door fire. Storage room fire, whatever it says. Now everything's new except the floor, Arnold said. The menu's the same, except for the chicken wings. Birch beer that once went for 7 cents a glass now goes for $1. But that's with all the refills you can get, Arnold notes. $1 something, I think. Well, it's chopped off. You know how that goes.
Yep.
Of course, trouble still looms. There's only one other Royal Castle in Miami-Dade at Northwest 79th Street and 27th Avenue. I don't know if they even have the rights to the name, manager Laverne Wright says. We have a long history here. Trouble still looms. Well, what does that mean, trouble still looms?
I don't know.
The fact that there's that other one, that's also been there for a long time. And we don't talk about it because we're friends with Wayne.
Right.
Now, did Wayne bring you any food that you can pay for?
No.
Did I email you that? Did I fax you that thing? Oh, you sent me a fax earlier, by the way. It turned out to be a blank page.
Huh.
Was it anything important?
Was it from me?
Yeah, it had your name on top.
Huh. I don't remember.
It was from there. It was from La Radio Estacion.
Must not have been anything important.
Maybe it was all about that new car they got you.
That must have been it.
Okay, I don't want to start up, but was this another 5-minute break?
I guess so. There was a promo there that wasn't on the log.
There's a what?
There was a promo that wasn't on the log. It's okay if we go over. Big O don't care.
No, we're not going to go over. We're going to go under.
Whatever.
And maybe the Big O can share that 1-1 with us.
Go over, go under.
Inside?
Sure.
Outside?
Neil, God. Hi, guys and gals. I'm Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. When I'm not shooting caribou from a helicopter hovering 50 feet off the ground, I'm a 44-year-old wife, mother, and future grandmother of an illegitimate child conceived out of wedlock. But I'm also an endorser, and I'm here today to tell you folks about an exciting new perfume for you gals out there. It's called Pentecostal Perfume. Named after the religious practice I no longer associate myself with due to its controversial nature, Pentecostal perfume will make you smell divine. And make you speak in tongue. It's perfect for all occasions, whether you're hunting or running or taking a field trip to the nuclear plant. Gosh darn it, this is a fragrance for all you gals. Other perfumes just pale in comparison. I'm Sarah Palin, and I approve this fragrance. Bye, bye, bye.